Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Aegis Marauders League. It is the playoffs round of 16. I am Redacted, joined tonight by Septi, filling in for Moose. Feel better, Moose. But thank you for the opportunity to be here on this cast, and we have ourselves one heck of a matchup here tonight, Septi. It is Dorado Gaming Zeta against Primal Instinct White. I'm pretty excited for this. You know, it's always a good cast, and it's pretty funny that I'm casting Dorado on my fill-in day. So yeah, I'm excited for that because I get to slightly BM the Dorado community as usual and have a good time doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we always know that when Dorado's on stream, we get a content game. Whether it's, a 3-game stomp in their favor, an 0-3 in their favor, or a 5-game series, it is always something interesting to talk about. And we have, the high tier Dorado team here, Dorado Gaming Zeta, the most, successful team, or at least name that Dorado has, and a whole bunch of, their classic players. We have Shima, Joker, Coffee, who's now playing the support role this season. And we are actually already getting into game number 1. We have Primal Instinct White on the blue side and Dorado Gaming Zeta on that red side, already eating the first ban in that Belveth.
Oh, did they start bans?
Yeah,
it's
yes,
not
they have.
Showing up on mine. Did they do a new link?
They might have done a new link.
Oh, never mind. I refreshed it. I got it.
All good.
All right.
Anyway, Dorado Gaming Zeta currently going to be targeting out that Ivern from, I believe it'll be Flo the Zone, who has been playing a whole lot of that, and it's at least the hover for now. Definitely trying to take some unorthodox picks out of their pocket. Ivern definitely going to be the first ban from Primal Instinct, as well as that Jace.
Yeah, and they're coming in pretty quick with these bans here. Septi. So
he's playing the game.
I know. So my question for you then is, what do you think Dorado Zeta is going to look to take off the board here next? Who do you think they'll like to take these picks away from?
I mean, I think when you look at the Primal Instinct team, you have to look at Shahaz, who's played, I think, 7 games of Vayne this season so far, throughout the entirety of AML. And so that's definitely a pick that you want to potentially at least have an answer for, should they decide to take it for themselves. But for right now, it's going to be Seraphine. I think they're just going to be targeting now Flow the Zone, who's definitely been playing that more supportive style, mid laner. Maybe thinking that if they're able to put them on someone that isn't as defensive, Shima will be able to act as a bit more of an aggressive force in that mid lane, someone that really can play with and play through, to then support the rest of the map. And Primal Instinct are going to take away a pick that I don't think a lot of people associate with Riddy, which will be that Maokai, but it definitely is a pick that is definitely more of a facilitator. Zeta going to be hovering that Karma band, which is another one of those supportive picks that I think they flex, at least between the support in the mid lane. I know that their top laner Mickey has played it at least once, but Mickey is not actually going to be playing this game. It is going to be Goomba Golem for Primal Instinct, and we're going to be moving into that first pick for Primal Instinct. And I'm curious as to what it will be. As Kindred going to be the hover for now. We saw a lot of this in the ACL redacted, and I think some people like to answer it with Lee Sin, but I don't think that's a ready pick.
Yeah, and with that B1 Kindred being picked up there for Primal Instinct White, most likely in the hands of Chiv there, it leads me to wonder how the rest of their draft will play out. And it is obviously giving us priority that jungle is going to be pretty aggressive, a powerful point in this matchup here, and that Primal Instinct White has no fear of taking it to Riddy in the opposing jungle here, and they'll respond with the Viego in turn.
Yeah, really not afraid to throw it right back at you. The Viego, definitely a style of champ that we know the Zeta jungler likes to go for. Definitely the bruiser reset type. I'm curious to see where they go for it, the second pick. It will be that that Varus hover rather for the time being. A pick that Joker likes because it allows him to be, fairly solid and fairly, safe in that lane. It also provides a good amount of CC in the later stages of the game. Will be locked in for the Zeta AD carry. It also is a pick that is generally fairly safe in the bot lane by itself. Because when you have a support like Coffee, who tends to find their playmaking through roaming as opposed to mid to late game engaging, it definitely is a pick that you want to have that is solid and can support itself.
Absolutely. So and with that being said, yeah, Lulu locked in here for Primal Instinct White, and you did mention, I know the Vayne's being hovered right now, so I'm not going to say anything until it's locked in, and now it is. There it is. So thoughts on the Vayne Lulu here?
I mean, I think this is pretty prototypical when it comes to, Primal Instinct White, but I mean, we talked about it. They needed an answer, and when you lock in Lulu and you lock in Vayne, Blitzcrank absolutely is going to be that pick that is going to call you out for your mechanics. And I can't think of anyone better than Coffee to be picking this right now. Just going to yoink everyone on the map. Going to be, especially with the shield break, Nico going to be the ban now coming in, constantly targeting Flow the Zone in that mid lane there. Zeta definitely try to put the Primal Instinct mid laner on the back foot, which I really like, because when you have such an aggressive jungler like Riddy and an aggressive mid laner like Shima, you want to do everything in your power to create an advantage for you. And especially with the pick like Blitzcrank, with a pick like Varus that have such playmaking capability, if you are on something that you are not comfortable with, it is really hard to play the game into so many, snap engages, I think is the word I'll go for. Because I mean, you're focused so much on your mechanics of the champion that you don't play as often that maybe you won't see, or maybe you won't have been able to track the movement of a character on the other team, and you get caught out for it. Zeta gonna ban the Darius away from Goomba Golem, who had been doing fairly well on that in the top side, and Primal Instinct White gonna respond with the Olaf and the Ahri ban, but redacted. Moving to the second phase, what do you think Primal Instinct White need out of these last few picks?
So obviously they need a top laner and a mid laner. What I'm expecting from Primal Instinct White possibly at this point is something with some type of CC, or at least engage, because I mean, you already have the damage, so you need people that can now peel. So this pick might be a little bit controversial because people don't really like talking about it, but Ornn is definitely something out there, right? That can be some of that frontline engage for you, but also has that peel because the Vayne and Kindred want that front to back draft here. But we're in the higher elos, you don't necessarily have to go for those more standard comps. So they could do something a bit more spicy as long as they're comfortable with it. What are your thoughts, Seb?
I mean, they need playmaking. I think I agree with you there. They need something that can actually, get the ball going in a fight. K'Sante not going to be that, I don't think, but it is a pretty solid pick in that top side. Looking at what Zeta has locked in, it will be that Lissandra for Shima in the mid lane. Again, another snap engage, massive AoE champion that can really punish, mispositioning from the side of Primal Instinct White. Should they find themselves in that position? And I very much so like the fact that Zeta have left this pick 5 for Hazem, who is, a notorious lane bully with the types of picks that they like. And will it be that Lulu mid?
Oh,
it looks like it will be Lulu mid, actually.
I was thinking that too, but go ahead.
No, I mean, credit to you if you were thinking that. Flow the Zone, I've been playing a whole lot of supports throughout the season, and, picking up Lulu is definitely going to be interesting. I don't think a matchup that Zeta were preparing for. And it makes it, I think, a little bit harder to play as well for Primal Instinct. Yes, you like the combination with the Kindred, but you're not going to be getting any lane pressure. You're not going to really be able to match the roams of Lissandra or the pressure that Lissandra has throughout the entire game. So you're really, hoping and praying that your team can actually get you through it. The Alistar lock-in will give you a little bit more engage, or rather any engage on the side of Primal Instinct. And Zeta going to spend the time with that R5 to lock in I think the most ideal K'Sante counter that most people think of. In that Gwen. And I think Zeta have a good comp. I think Primal Instinct are going to be pressed to find the angles of engagement that they want. And I think are going to have to rely heavily on, both the Lamb's Respite as well as the Lulu ultimates to actually survive the Zeta engages.
Yeah, Septi. So, from the side of Primal Instinct White, I was thinking about them picking that Lulu, possibly going to the mid lane, because we've seen it, but I wasn't sure, right, but now with that Alistar being locked in there, what this tells me for Primal Instinct White is that they're definitely probably just going to look to play more supportive. Once again, Kindred is such a feast or famine jungler, especially if she doesn't get those marks in a standard amount of time, right? So we expect to see that Lulu just probably roam to help support Chiv when she's out there looking for those marks in the Riddy jungle. On the other side, though, like you said, expect to see Shima roam a lot and pressure the Lulu there, because Lulu's not going to have much kill pressure on Lissandra in a 1v1 unless Shima severely misplays his positioning. We already know how that matchup is going to go. On the other hand, though, Septi, what do you think each composition does well and what they can't do?
You got to look at blue side and you think scaling. The longer this game goes, the greater the chance Primal Instinct are going to have to win this game. You have infinite scaling on the Kindred with her marks. Vayne becomes stronger the higher attack speed and the more movement speed that she has. I think critically, though, for Primal Instinct, what Zeta have to be careful for is taking the 2v2s early, because with the Lulu shields, Kindred becomes deceptively tanky. Just because, that extra, 100 health, 150 health from that shield is gonna, make you miscalculate the damage. We could easily see a Viego jump in with a W and then just not have enough gas to actually finish off the enemy jungler. And that's definitely a pitfall that I could see them, get trapped in. But no, you were asking me about win cons. I definitely think Primal Instinct, they just have to survive for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Basically, once Vayne gets 2 items, once they can actually start fighting, I think is probably the most optimal time for them. And if they're, and credit to them, if they're able to, if they're able to soak up the pressure that Zeta will throw at them early, then they absolutely deserve to, have a fighting shot in this game, because, we're talking Varus ult, Blitzcrank hook, Lissandra, roots and ults, Viego stuns. There are so many ways to catch out Primal Instinct. Zeta, I think, definitely have the easier composition to play by far. But it relies on them, actually landing their engages, right? We have to see the hooks land. We have to see the Varus ults land. I hope Shima can click on the right person with ulti. No, but with that said, I think Primal Instinct might have to focus on warding this game. They have to track Coffee. They have to track Riddy. And if they do it successfully, they have a good shot. They have a good shot of pretty consistently being able to contest I would argue probably the third or second dragon, even depending on how quickly Zeta is able to take it. but I think we might be remaking the lobby. Oh, yeah, just give
Oh,
us.
of course there is a micro patch.
Lovely.
All
But
right.
anyway, I mean, yeah, I think no, I mean, I think absolutely. If Primal Instinct can survive this early game, they'll definitely have a shot.
I'm just gonna
I
restart
think
my client.
if I had to give you a line of play
Mhm.
for Shiv to go through, I think you just have to try and play with your bot lane. Keep them safe, keep the vein scaling alive. Cassante, Goomba Golem is just gonna, try their best to not lose 8,000 plates in the top lane and their health
Mhm.
bar, a bunch of times over. And if they can do that, I mean, I think they're sitting pretty. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess I was gonna ask you already, but you kind of answered it. But let me ask you this then, because you talked more about the team. Let's talk about one specific player, and I think I know who you're gonna say for both teams. But I'm gonna ask anyway. Which player do you think we should watch in the early game, and which will likely be the focal point for the game's outcome?
I think you expect me to say jungle.
I do expect you to say jungle.
I'm gonna switch it up on you. I'm gonna say the mid lane is gonna be the most important thing. Generally, we talk a lot about junglers influencing the mid lane to then influence the map. I think it'll actually be the other way around this game. I think it'll be on Shima to get the push in mid and then support their jungler. Um, I don't think that Riddy will be the first one to make the move. I think if Shima is able to push and move with Riddy to really cause a headache for Shiv,
Mhm.
that'll be probably the best way for that duo to play. I don't really think we'll be seeing many kills on Flow the Zone unless for some reason Riddy is wave manipulation genius and is able to constantly have the Lulu on his side as well as shade him towards the side that Riddy's on as well. I don't think we'll be seeing much of that. I think Flow the Zone has been playing supports pretty much all split, and so they're
Mhm.
pretty knowledgeable of their weak zones, their weak spots, in the lane, and especially if they're willing to pick something like this Lulu. I think they have a decent idea of how it'll go. Because I think you'd agree with me that when this Lulu was picked, it was probably a flex between Korean Daddy and Flow the Zone, and when they saw the Lissandra,
Yeah.
they were not
I
worried.
thought about it slightly, but I did think at first it was Lulu Vayne bot lane. But I just thought about it like in the back of my head, like it could be a Lulu mid, but you know, you never
I
know
mean,
until the full draft comes in. So
that's definitely true. I mean, when was the
yeah,
last time you saw Lulu mid? Because
exactly.
I can't remember the last time I saw one.
It
There
was
might have been like
definitely in
one
pro
patch.
play.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
must have been like one patch. Maybe it was Lulu top was the last time I saw it. Maybe with the double smite nonsense
Oh
from last year.
God. I don't remember that. I think the last time I saw Lulu mid, Faker was playing it in like LCK or something. So
No, I think maybe how many
I don't
years ago
remember an
was it?
amateur though for sure. Like
Definitely not an amateur. If
yeah.
anyone was gonna do it, it was gonna be Zeta playing some nonsense with Lulu smite in the top lane, and then yeah, that's what it was. It was Huni on TSM was like constantly playing
Uh-huh.
Lulu top with smite and and just creating. I think they were playing like a 4v2 in the bot side. I don't
Oh
know.
wow.
Anyway, but I think we are gonna take a short break. Want to get a prediction as to who might win this first game?
Predictions,
Or we could do series. We could do series as
I don't
well.
want to do series. I
You don't
want
want
to
to do series?
I
All right,
don't
that's fair.
because
That's fair.
I'm an emergency caster. I don't really know these
Okay.
teams. So
You
I'm
right.
I'm gonna go game by game. I'm gonna
Fair
take
enough.
the weak way out. But for game one, I think I like Zeta's draft more, and I'm not voting for Zeta because I'm not a Dorado affiliate, but I just like their
No one,
draft
no one,
more.
no one will believe you when you say that.
I know, right? But Dorado people know I'm one of their biggest haters. So,
Aren't you
but
also a producer for them? Like,
I'm not. Hey, I'm a
Mhm.
freelance producer. Okay, so
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
not until I get my Dorado banner am I an actual Dorado producer. So
Fair. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
anyway,
enough.
but I do like Zeta's draft more, so I'm gonna go with Zeta for right
Fair
now.
enough. I think I have to align with you there. But before we send ourselves off to a quick break, we do want to thank our sponsor for this summer split of 2023 in Coachify.gg. Coachify is a commission-free esports platform currently in the open beta. Become a coach today and track your students. Inspire them to succeed and turn your passion into a career. Click the panel located below the stream to check out their website for more information. And with that redacted, we're going to go to a quick break. So stick around and we'll be right back with Primal Instinct White versus Dorado Gaming Zeta, Game 1.
just counting all the ways I died. Everything I couldn't save, buried down, still half alive. It's got me crawling in my skin, but no one's coming out to hold me close. Pouring out the gasoline, yeah, I've been making friends with all these ghosts, and I got nothing left to lose. Fight to the future.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread, ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here live for game 1, Aegis Marauder League. Okay, set the table.
Welcome back, everyone. Redacted has been ganked by his glass of water and is currently unable to speak, but we are here for Primal Instinct White versus Dorado Gaming Zeta. We have Primal Instinct White on the blue side and Dorado Gaming Zeta on the red side. People are fading out for a regular sweep. We're going to be dropped on that top side to spot out Hazem guarding that top shred rush, but for the time being, no Blitzcrank shenanigans are going to be happening. Yeah, I mean, pretty standard, I think, from what we'd expected going into the draft. Shima with that electrocute on the Lissandra should allow for a bunch of early damage and burst onto the Lulu, as well as the Lulu taking area. I don't think anything surprising. I think the most surprising thing would maybe be Alistar opting for that Aftershock instead of the Glacial Augment that we often see with that champion. Redacted, have you returned to the land of the living?
I am back. No more Nami water in my throat.
Well, it looks like you're not okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, just no more water, Redacted, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
anyway, okay, no, I really think I'm back for real. But yeah, you were talking about the runes and some of the spells. Oh, look at that. Flow to Zone took Ares, so we were right.
Yep. Pretty standard. Both junglers going to be starting on their respective red buffs. Really going to be starting all by his lonesome on his top side. But honestly, not a bad idea. They're going to be spotting out that Kindred is starting that bot side, as well as Hazem dropping a nice ward for the top side. And some interesting kiting coming out from Shiv as he walks into the lane. But I mean, I think this is pretty expected. Kindreds normally like to start the red buff. Same with the Viegas, who, you know, might look for something at level 3. It looks like Riddy will be setting up for a full clear, or at least a topside quadrant clear for the time being. Same with Shiv. So no early level 3 shenanigans for the time being, as an early trade in the mid lane, Shima level 2 gets a very nice chunk onto Flow the Zone.
As Shima should, and there's Coffee with the grab already onto Korean Daddy there. A little bit of harass coming out, and as ADC should, once you get that level 2, you definitely want to harass your opponent and, you know, just make life that much difficult for them before they have the chance to get level 2 of their own. So the further you can deny that, the better in your favor. And sometimes you might get lucky and just get that first blood kill.
Yeah, and I don't think Shiv is getting lucky, because there's about 80 wards in that bot side river. They're going to spot them going for this gank onto the bot lane. And if you know, Joker decides to actually walk back for it, now Shiv might get caught up potentially.
Seen a lot of things coming out here. Shiv with the exhaust, Joker autoing as the grab comes out from Coffee. The ignite onto Shahaz, who's on the retreat, ready, looking for someone to stun. Channeling does connect. Flash from Alistar. Shiv on the retreat, and Primal Instinct White able to get out with only a few summoner spells expanded.
Yeah, Korean Daddy really has to be, I think, the MVP of that fight there. While Shahaz did flash away, the Alistar was able to create a whole lot of space, knocking out the Blitzcrank as well as knocking away the Viega, who was looking for that stun onto the Primal Instinct AD carry, and Shiv is not done with this play. Dorado Gaming, if they're not careful, could get caught out by the blue side jungler, who actually will just be there for the crash. Shahaz,
he's taxing.
No, this is I think totally fine.
Yeah.
Shahaz no flash, and knowing that Riddy had been pathing down, although this engagement is not quite over yet.
Hey, oh, I like this. I like this, Riddy, because if Shiv backs here and Riddy stays, but the white bot lane's already backing up.
It's a win-win for Dorado. No, it's a win-win for Dorado, because either they bait them into fighting because they're holding the wave, or they just get to hold the wave for free. It now means that Shahaz is going to get denied a whole bunch of farm and XP on that bot side, and Riddy doesn't really waste too much time. I think the only downside is that Shiv is going to have first move to this top side mark.
Yep.
But I think other than that, everything is going as expected for the time being, as Alistar is also going to help move to this mark. This is, I guess, what we'd expect from a Kindred. I mean, the Alistar is, you know, not doing his AD carry any favors by leaving the lane with a freeze against the Vayne.
Yeah, right now Vayne's kind of just on their own, gonna have to chill and just hopefully hope this wave bounces back to them at some point. But Alistar will make his return. But right now the priority, like we said, Septi, is Shiv getting those marks, right? So right now Shiv with, I believe, just the one mark on their champion there. So expect to see more priority on those marks for sure, whether it's the Lulu or Alistar roaming to support, because Kindred really comes alive once she hits that 6 mark point.
I think it's
or is it 4 now?
I think it's 4.
Okay.
She gets her first work rate at 4. But I think in the bot lane, I think you're really happy, you know, if you're Shahaz, you aren't punished for your Alistar leaving. Dorado Gaming stacked up a nice way for you to farm. Now the question is, can you do it? Down about 15 CS.
Oh yeah, it is.
The Varus. But I mean, this could have been really bad if Dorado had actually spotted Korean Daddy up on that top side there, because they had a really massive wave stacking against Shahaz, to the point where that Vayne has no flash. And if Riddy shows up onto that tower, or if Dorado Game decide to push it a little bit faster, they absolutely will get that first blood onto the Vayne. But for the time being, I mean, we're seeing the mid lane progress at a pace that, you know, we thought it would. Shima has constant pressure into this Lulu, who is, you know, farming fairly decently, down 8 CS, but with the benefit of this Lysandra pick, it means that Dorado Gaming are going to get this first dragon.
Absolutely. And yep, just like you said, with the first Drake in the pockets of Zeta here and being the Inferno Drake, it's a little bit more attack damage here for, you know, all the players on the Zeta side. So not a bad first Drake to get into their onto their stat sheet there. But on the other side, yep, look at that. We see pings on the Kindred mark. I don't think Shiv would even, I don't know if Shiv's gonna even think about trying to get that mark at this time, but Riddy is there in the bot lane looking for a potential play.
Yeah, I mean, the wave is even right now. Are we gonna look for H? No flash on the Alistar.
How? Ooh, good coffee missing the grab there. I think maybe he was trying to predict.
Yeah, I believe he was predicting a Vayne tumble. Hazam is
the all out there, and yep, first blood for Goomba Golem as Hazam played his hand a bit too aggressively. Now more fights coming out in the bot lane. Korean Daddy ignited already, but the rocket grab goes wide once again. Shahaz and Kindred on the chase. They condemn Blitzcrank into the wall, exhausted. He will have to flash away. Riddy looking for more, but Joker finds Shahaz instead. Flash from the Kindred, flash forward from Riddy. That's a double for Joker. And that will be the triple kill for Joker, that is, and that will be three kills onto the Zeta AD carry. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Shima having to flash away from that Lulu here. So kills all across the board here, Septi.
Yeah, that is a disaster for the bot lane of Primal Instinct. Yes, you get a nice win on that top side. Shima is denied about 2 waves or so under that tower, but I mean, it looked, I don't know. I need to look back at some point, but I mean, Joker's gonna have 3 kills, gonna already be finished with that Kraken Slayer at less than 8 minutes into this game. If Shahaz and Korean Daddy were having a hard time before, it is going to be a nightmare.
Oh my god, yep.
For this blue side in the bot lane, and I think it was really, really well played from Dorado Gaming. They were able to, you know, knock down the Vayne, but then Riddy was able to pick up and get that, you know, passive move speed towards enemies that are running away from you that Vayne has, and then was able to snowball that into a few other kills. I mean, Shiv no flash. Korean Daddy now has their flashback though, so might be able to look for some possible engage onto the Dorado Gaming Zeta AD carry, who does now have a 300 gold shutdown. And I believe,
but I also have a Kraken Slayer.
That is true, but a Kraken Slayer redacted does not mean more HP though.
True.
They say the best defense is a good offense.
Hold on, Septi. Shima finds the route onto flow the zone. They're already looking for the stun. Shiv now in tow, marking that Viego here, looking for one more proc, trying to chunk him out. Whoa, Shiv procs for a lot of damage there from Shima, but Lulu is here to assist. Kindred's gonna have to back up a bit. And we're seeing a bunch of pings coming out on the top side of the map here. Over nothing? There's no scuttle. There's rift, but I don't know why they were danger pinging up there.
I thought the game bugged for a second. I was really curious as to why Kindred had a mark in her own jungle, but I believe that is just Kindred, or Riddy as Kindred, that has a mark on that top ground.
Wait. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I see it too now. What? Oh, hold on. As Coffee is here though, grabs Flow the Zone, who uses that Wild Girl and is actually putting a lot of damage down into Shima's back, who will have to retreat.
This Lulu base damage is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we underestimated the Lulu damage.
I think we now know why Shima was forced to flash earlier, but I do want to talk a little bit about that engage in the mid lane there, as I think Shiv is a little bit lucky that Shima, did not have their ultimate up there. I think they were tracking it, but it was that Lissandra ulti was very close to coming up now. But on the bot side, I mean, it looks like Dorado Gaming are going to be trying to trade this Herald for a dive onto the bot side. Ulti not available yet for the Alistar, so the reduced damage is not going to be in their favor. Coffee Chocolate gonna land the hook.
Rocket grab lands onto Korean Daddy once again. It's already steak on the menu. Riddy looking for more. Will be condemned away. Using that Heartbreaker to get within range. Coffee waiting for the knockup. Cleanse from Shahaz as Joker looking for the kill, but Riddy takes it instead. That's still a 2-0 for the Zeta bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, Riddy and Coffee are going to split kills there, but that's, not the worst thing in the world. You get pressure, you deny wave, you get plates on the bot side in exchange for that Herald pickup, as well as Riddy's going to get a nice bonus camp on top of that. And now you're looking at a bot lane on the Dorado Gaming side that is about, what, 1,600 gold, 1,700 gold ahead of their counterpart, not including the jungle and support differences that are making up this 3,000 gold lead in favor of Dorado. Yes, you lose out on that Herald, and I mean, maybe it's a little bit to be expected. I think, when you're focusing so hard on this bot side, you're just bound to give up some objectives on the top side. And I think the fact that Hazem, gave up that kill on the top side is, I mean, it's been okay for the time being, as Hazem is just constantly in the face of Goomba Golem, who is going to try and find an angle to sweep this Gwen potentially into their jungler, who is going to be around. But look at that Gwen damage with no finished items. That was a little bit wild.
Yeah, but we do see Chiv pathing over. Will use the Q there to get over the ridge, and is now packing behind Hazem. Hazem, who is known to be a very aggressive Zeta top laner, does not know the danger he's in. The mark has been procced. Hazem now wary of his threat on his life on the retreat. Flow the zone here as well. Hazem, what are we gonna do? Do we go for the execute here?
Gonna be trying to actually walk away. How's enough HP to get through the towers?
Yeah, he's trying to make his way towards. I thought he was trying to make his way towards Shima, but Shima's not even.
What the bait and switch?
Shima's not even worried about his Joker is now on a rampage. He will take out Shahaz once more. The masteries are being flashed. Korean Daddy is now going to be Korean Wagyu beefsteak on the menu once again. Zeta, I like that they have now prioritized the bot lane. Once they saw Joker get 3-0, Riddy just decided to go all in on the bot lane. Good. That is how you push your advantage. That is how you get ahead in game.
I was getting a little bit worried because, Korean Daddy was trying to be a steak that no one wanted to eat, as that Alistar was tough to take down. Sorry. Food joke there.
That was
anyway,
good. That was good.
Yeah. Anyway, gonna be, getting another successful 2-0 on that bot side. It wasn't looking a little bit scary with that damage stacking up, as Joker did take one tower shot that did, I think, over half their health on that Varus there. But Shiv gonna be able to pick up another mark onto those Raptors there, only sitting at 2 for the time being.
Yeah, I was just about to say mark check, please.
Yeah, so a little bit slow actually on these Kindred marks for the time being. I think, the fact that they haven't been able to get much going in terms of early ganks has definitely been the culprit there. But I mean, we talked about it in draft, right? The Kindred does not really have much setup for these plays. Yes, they have good scaling, but not really much setup for mark, discover, or for mark acquisition. The only, kill being a solo bolo from Goomba Golem onto Hazem when, arguably it was just a Cassante moment of getting too close to the tower with no minions nearby. But I mean, this game I think is progressing to the point where I think Dorado are definitely going to have an advantage. just moving in. Obviously, you know, when you have 5k in your favor, it's gonna be a little bit easier as flash available.
Oh, flash and the rocket grab connects. Whoa, that is 2 ultimate expound for the Lulu here.
Kasante.
Double TP, triple TP is coming in now. Kasante, Shima, and Hazem all here. Zeta was looking for more. Hazem's already gonna retreat though. The hook grabs the Korean daddy once again. That's a lot of damage coming out from Joker there. We'll have to be careful though. Shiv is looking for a connect. The Kasante Q lands, and it's a team fight completely slaughtered in the middle lane here. Shahaz on the retreat. Joker now godlike. Korean daddy on the retreat once again. Double kill for Joker. Really looking for more flashes forward with that Bane Soul there. We'll have to Heartbreaker away. Shiv now on the retreat. Guma Golem can do nothing but stare.
I'm gonna have to look back at that. What kind of interaction happened? No, I got really confused. That was a really good fight, but I'm not gonna lie. The analysis is not gonna be great because I was really confused as to what happened.
No, I was too.
With Goomba Golem and Shima, because I saw the Kasante take away the Lissandra, but then be nowhere near her by the time that they came out of the wall. But I mean, I think credit has to go to Dorado Gaming there. They played really well. They had, you know, Hazem walking down. They had Riddy nearby as well. I think the fact that Korean Daddy messed up that combination onto Shima under the tower is definitely one of the reasons why they were not able to actually succeed in that fight. Because I mean, you headbutt the Lissandra away, you knock up nothing, and I mean, it goes from having a picked out member of Zeta, you know, and being able to equalize that fight there to being completely, you know, on the back foot. And I mean, we saw the damage. Shima with the flash, very nice 3-man root there. Gets a whole lot of damage, and this Lissandra, you know, has electrocute. This is no aftershock Lissandra that is, you know, building defensive. That's an Everfrost you've completed for the mid laner of Dorado Gaming. And just looking around the map, if we have mythics completed on most of the members, actually we don't have mythics completed on most of the members because this is a meta in which legendary items are king.
Do you prefer that?
We only have 3 legendaries. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that there's some innovation at the end of the season in which mythic items are being removed. But you know, I think we're seeing it where I think some items are just far too strong, and mystic pathos rather are just not worth building as the first item.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Everfrost, you build it purely because it has, you know, some nice HP, some nice CDR, as well as, you know,
bring back Twin Ghost.
I want DFG. Bring it back. Actually, no. If we want to talk about actual things to bring back old Smite. Bring back the Smite item, please. I'm tired of these buffs.
The Smite item. You don't like your little pet? As Zeta is now working on this Chemtech Drake here. Primal Instinct White not even going to contest. So that is now 3 Drakes in the favor of Dorado Gaming Zeta here. Septi, I wanted to ask you, at this point, I mean, laning phase is clearly over, so I can't even ask that question anymore. But what does Primal Instinct White want to look to do here to try and get back to the game? I mean, do we give up Vayne at this point and try and go all in on Kindred and Kasante?
I think that Vayne has to try and farm back into the game. The fact that she's rushed a static shiv is really detrimental to her, you know, ability to join the game and actually be a real force in these team fights. Just because, I mean, that build is, you know, very nice if the game is going on at a leisurely pace and, you know, no one's really, you know, snowballing ahead in the game. But when you're down 6k gold, when you're down 3 dragons, a Vayne with, you know, I'd argue half an item for team fighting is not really what you want to be seeing, especially when she's down almost 2 levels on Joker, who, you know, their counterpart. It is so hard to actually play this game out. And I mean, we talked about how, you know, Primal Instinct have to scale into this game. But I mean, Dorado Gaming are moving at such a pace where I don't think they'll have the opportunity to. We're gonna have a Dragon Soul redacted at 21 minutes, arguably 22 minutes in this game, and I don't think the Primal Instinct will be ready to fight it. And so I think that, you know, we might have a fight that Primal Instinct might just get wiped out with, because arguably, you know, you don't give up a soul for free.
Oh, absolutely not if you don't have to, right?
If you don't have to, right? But I think this is a game they have to, but they might not be willing to give it up.
Yeah, and like you said, 8-0 and 2 on that Varus there. Joker very far ahead of his counterpart. Shima, though he was a bit harassed by that Lulu there, you know, that Lulu base damage surprising both a lot of people more than we often like to think about. Still doing a-okay, of course, against his counterpart, as the Rift Herald has now been launched here in the top side of the map. It looks like Goomba Golem might be the next item on the menu here, and he realizes he doesn't have a choice as he uses that all out there. Shima now will use that ultimate as Joker locks him down. Goomba Golem has now been sent to the Shadow Realm for the first time this match here.
And critically, I mean, Joker is picking up more gold in this game on a character who does not have, you know, a low gold value. It's not one of those 0-4 bot laners that he's been wailing on this whole game. And so that is a proper 300 gold to go into their pockets, as well as they're going to get another charge out of this Rift Herald onto the top tower. And so that will be another 700 gold split amongst those three members. And I mean, the gold lead is just, you know, rocketing forward for Dorado Gaming, now up to 8,000 in their favor. Baron going to be spawning in 0 seconds time, as pings immediately are going onto it for the Dorado Gaming side. And Shiv might be sniffing this out a little bit, is going to find that first ward. Will be moving towards the second.
Like, I mean, as Primal Instinct White, what do you do? Like, can you even contest this? They're so much stronger than you, but at the same time, like, you have to... True, but you have to play this fight so very carefully, otherwise you get wiped. As Zeta has taken the Baron, but they've already taken out Joker, actually, who was condemned against the wall. Zeta now trying to get out of dodge with the 4 Baron buffs that remain, but it doesn't matter because they got the main target anyway. Joker plus that bounty gold. I believe it was Flow the Zone who got the shutdown though, so not entirely favorable. You did probably want to go to Shahaz, but hey, you still got some gold off the AD carry.
Yeah, I mean, also not going to be able to save this turret as they take a whole lot of damage in trade, but Dorado Gaming, yes, you're going to pick up that Baron. I would not argue it's the cleanest of plays because you give over 1,000 gold, you blow Hazam's TP for no reason. As they might actually caught out here. It's still 4v5.
For more coffees, grabbing the Cassante as Korean Daddy goes in with the head, but Pulverize. Hazam now working on this Alistar here. Ready, flashes forward, gets 3 with the knock-up soul, and that's Primal Instinct White about to be taken out completely. Goomba Golem looking to do the best he can with those Ntopo blades, but it's not enough, and it's gonna be an ace here for Zeta, and they're gonna march down the mid lane.
Yeah, Zeta saved by Riddy and Shima combining for a whole mess of damage in that fight there. I mean, it looked to be such a disaster there. You got caught by Green Daddy. Coffee Chocolata just missed out on that engagement there. And as a result, I mean, Dorado Gaming got put on the back foot, but I mean, this is just the wallet difference.
Wait. Oh, no, it's not game. Never mind. No, it's not game. Yeah, Chiv and Shahaz are up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to go for this NA here, then they should back up for the Dragon. But it was a little bit scary because against the composition that Primal Instinct, you definitely cannot be affording yourself, you know, to make too many mistakes against the scaling composition like that. Especially ones where you give over 1,000 gold. Granted, it did go to the mid laner support, who, you know, is only able to finish their Ardent Sensor.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looked really scary because...
Absolutely.
I mean, I think if you're Dorado Gaming, yes, you're happy with the game state you're in, but if you're alive, you know, you might have 1 or 2 things to say to them after this game. But I mean, for the time being, they get the soul there. Finish Comtech soul at 22.5 minutes. Going to be pushing down the spot lane with Baron buff, and it looks like they're going to be trading this top tower as well for Shahaz, who is working towards their Rage Blade. Should be able to actually finish it, I think, once they pick up this top lane bounty. But I mean, I think something... Sorry, last thing I'm going to say before I let you speak. I know I tend to talk a lot.
No, it's fine.
But I think if I had to say something to Dorado Gaming is that they definitely have to improve their usage of, you know, teleports, because I think we've seen Hazam TP to maybe 3 fights.
Yeah.
And has been impactful in 0 of them. Yeah, like not as a flame thing. Like there's just nothing. There's like no good wards for him to TP to actually engage in the fight. I think for that Baron engagement, he had to TP into the blue side jungle after the play was already over, and just was not able to do anything in that instance. So I think while Dorado Gaming are happy for the time being, they definitely could be happier with maybe some cleaner gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was gonna say, Septi, that you are absolutely right. And you know, Primary Instinct also kind of proving me and probably a few of people in the crowd wrong, because we thought like, okay, Zeta has such an advantage that it's going to be really hard for Primal Instinct White to get back into this game. How are they going to do damage? But that team fight there showed that, oh, it's very possible that they can definitely take this game back if they play to their strengths a bit more and are able to like pick out the priority targets the right way or however they can. But they just didn't have enough fuel left in the tank as Riddy, you know, got that combo off with the Alistar Soul. So definitely not over for Primal Instinct White just yet, but they are a bit down. And now with this Chemtech Soul here, Baron coming up in 2 minutes and 2 inhibitors down, it's looking quite dire here for Primal Instinct White. So they're gonna have to definitely find a way to look for some picks at this point now, because you got Hasm charging down to the bot lane there with some super minions.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard for Dorado Gaming to find inroads. Considering that this Baron has run out for them, I think they're just going to be waiting for this next Baron to spawn in a minute and a half, and then probably look to knock down that last inhib in the top side and look for. Honestly, I'm not quite sure because it has to be a breakpoint. As I mean, one hook could spell disaster for Primal Instinct. Should Coffee Chocolate decide to actually land that? Not decide to, but be able to land that.
Nah, call it how it is.
Yeah. Blitzcrank hook confirmed is a targeted ability. No. But I mean, I think it just depends on, you know, how quickly we're able to siege this tower. If they're able to land some abilities, it'll make it a lot easier. But I think they definitely have enough pressure with these super waves coming in the mid and the bot lane that they should be able to get some chip damage onto these towers here. For the time being. Here.
Definitely not gonna be good, obviously, for I gotta find a different Instinct White. I gotta find like a shorter way to say their team name because it's a mouthful. Maybe I'll just call them PIW.
I just call him Primal Instinct for the time being. But I mean, yeah, I mean, we're seeing it, you know.
I'm calling him Primal.
Just say Primal. People are saying just say Primal. Oh,
yeah, I'm calling them Primal. I'm going with Slither.
I think Dorado Gaming have to be credited here because they took the time in this mid lane. They had Shima constantly pushing up to the gate base of Primal Instinct to the point where they were not really able to step out of their base at all. And I mean, looking at that jungle for Primal Instinct, there is not a single shred of vision in that topside jungle for them. And with the Baron spawning in 10 seconds, I think they only are able to rely on Shahaz's blue trinket to actually, you know, try and make a safe approach, should they even decide to go for a safe approach, as it looks like Hasm might be the target for them.
All right, Joker, do not stand near the wall this time and get condemned.
And Zol calls me the hater. Come on.
That's not hating. That's literally an observation. That's what happened. He stood near the wall, he got condemned, then he got like two-shotted.
That is fair. But no, I mean, Dorado Gaming gonna cleanly pick up this Rift Herald, or this Baron rather. You know, it's 26 minutes to the game.
No, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at our producer in Twitch chat BMing the Veins build.
Well, I don't think it's not BM. It's just like, yeah, at this point in the game, it definitely feels miserable to play. I mean,
there's a flash. Shahaz going deep. Oh my god, and it's just obliterated off the map entirely. I guess Primal Instinct White have lost their instincts indeed and just decided to walk blindly into the slaughterhouse and have said, all right, Zeta, just take us to game 2 because game 1 is donezo. Dorado Gaming Zeta looking to clean up the rest of these kills here. Riddy going into stasis. There's Goomba Golem, the only one left alive. They're working on these Nexus turrets and the inhibit Nexus as well. Game 1, Dorado Gaming Zeta.
Yeah, I think that's a respectable loss there. I mean, the way that fight ended, it might have looked troll, but it's one of those situations where in comp you recognize that the game is, you know, if you just allow it to continue on its own, it'll become, you know, unplayable for yourself. And so
the vein like flashed into the back line.
I mean, yeah, Shahaz was looking for a play. I think it's a little bit understandable, because you'd rather go out on a play that you decided to make rather than just getting suffocated for the next, you know, 5 to 6 minutes, which is probably what was going to happen. Just because
flashed into the back line.
Yeah, you know, we don't sweat the specifics, redacted. We don't sweat the specifics. You know what I saw, redacted? I saw that Primal Instinct White went for a fight to try and take the game back into their favor, and unfortunately, the wallet of Dorado Gaming Zeta was just far too large for them to compete with. But That was game number 1, and that was actually pretty exciting. I think Primal Instinct definitely have some notes to take into game number 2. I don't think that Lulu was necessarily the answer, because I don't think we saw any, link up play between the AD carries and the mid laner. At least was my opinion.
I don't think. How can I word this? I don't think their draft was bad. I think their execution was.
I don't think they were able to do what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah, and what we thought we were gonna see happen from the mid and jungle didn't happen. We thought we would see Flow the Zone like try and roam with the Kindred at a certain point, but they pretty much just stayed in their lane. And sure, they got to harass Shima a bit, but I guess maybe they stayed there so that way Shima also wouldn't roam. But I mean, if you're picking a Kindred, like, come on, you gotta know what that champ stands for and like what you would like to do with it. So you gotta try and maximize and get that that champion going. Otherwise, it just becomes that much harder to play the game. And obviously, once Joker got the triple kill in the bot lane,
right?
You don't necessarily give up on the Vayne entirely, but you definitely say, all right, Ben, you're gonna take a little bit of priority on the backseat. I'm now going to like take the keys and try and get this car going. So I think Shiv and the rest of the top side of the map should have tried to like put more resources and player potential into the Kindred Cassante there versus mitigating their losses.
Yeah, I think Primal Instinct White, they sort of missed the mark a little bit. They picked Kindred and then they picked 3 losing lanes. Is how I'm looking at it. Because I mean, you pick Vayne, you pick Lulu, which arguably would have been your bot lane into Varus. Then they pick Blitz, which automatically wins them that lane. And then, Shima decides to take the Lissandra mid, which is great. It is a standard, solid blind pick that Dorado Gaming like. Then you decide to put a losing matchup into it. Yes, we saw the Lulu bully a bit, but not nearly enough to actually, allow the Kindred to take that pressure into the enemy jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're forced to blind pick Cassante into a Gwen, which automatically loses lane. I mean, it was not the draft that you wanted to play Kindred into. And I think that Shiv, the fact that they were, still somewhat relevant in that game, I mean, credit to them. We're still able to output a decent amount. We're still able to have some decent influence on the map. I think is very commendable. But I think Primal Instinct definitely have to take some notes from that game 1 draft. And I think so will we. So we're going to take a short little break before we get into game number 2. Stick around and we'll be right back with Primal Instinct White versus Dorado Gaming Zeta.
Welcome back, everyone, as we are here in AML round of 16, game number 2. Dorado Gaming Zeta against Primal Instinct White. Zeta has elected for Primal Instinct White have chosen the red side, so Zeta is on blue, and we are live into our picks in bans. So far, the bans are the first 2 bans that we saw previously in game 1, but we'll see if things change since sides have changed as well for game 2. Septi, what are your thoughts on how both teams will look to ban things out here now that sides have been swapped?
Well, it seems that Zeta sort of have their thought process in mind of trying to shut down Flow the Zone and their supportive style. Big change going into this game number 2. We were talking about how Shiv kind of got, draft gapped by their team by picking that Kindred first. They are no longer in this game. They are now on the bench. Birdo has come in for the Primal Instinct jungler. Well, I don't think Shiv had a bad game necessarily. I think, maybe Birdo just might offer a couple other picks that maybe Primal Instinct like to play with on the red side.
What are some of those picks? I remember you talking about them while we were off air.
I mean, we've seen them play, the likes of Karthus, Wukong, I think Udyr as well on this in the postseason. But I think
that's a good ban. I like
fairly similar. The Ash ban going to be taken away from Joker. Maybe.
But the Maokai is open though.
I don't like Riddy on these picks though. Is my personal take.
Oh, why?
I just think that Riddy is a very good jungler when it comes to playing more aggressive, bruiser fighters. He likes to brawl early. As Zeta are hovering a couple picks, opting, to flex between that Karthus and the Varus. I know Joker is a Karthus enjoyer in the bot side, but gonna lock in that Varus B1. I think fairly standard, fairly solid. I think you're not worried about anything Primal Instinct will play into it. So it will definitely allow you just to draft your AD and then take a look at what they want to pick.
Okay, yeah. And with the Varus being locked in here for Zeta, that leads me to wonder then, Septi, like, do we think Zeta might look to pick up a support here early? Or how do you think they'll look to pair up that Varus? And then on the response, what do you think Primal Instinct White will look for now that they've seen what the bot lane for Zeta is going to be? Obviously, they locked in the Ezreal here, but everything else wise.
I think Coffee has a lot of good picks that he might like to do. I think, when you see the likes of an Ezreal, I think that lane is going to be pretty stonewally. So I think that might give Coffee the green light to go for something maybe like a Rakan or maybe like an Alistar themselves to actually just start moving around the map. Jarvan going to be the lock-in for Birdo on Primal Instinct White, and again, fairly solid, fairly standard. Just going to be picking, pretty normal, just trying to scout out what the other team wants to do with their, draft, because I mean, right now, no one has really committed to a style. Joker can go either poke or on hit with this Varus build. I do expect that we'll see maybe a roamer coming out from Coffee here. But I think a lot of times supports generally like to pick, second. They like to be the counter picker as
no way.
Riddy is this is a pick that Riddy does like though.
Oh my god.
Very happy to see them. Very happy to see them not on the Sejuani or the Maokai. I mean, I said it before, Riddy likes to brawl, Riddy likes to fight, and I think when you have an Ezreal and a Jarvan that aren't really going to be able to put too much pressure on you early, it is going to be very, very nice for your jungler. I think with the bans, of Seraphine and Karma, it definitely allows you to pick, some slightly...
Ooh, Daddy Nectin, okay.
And this is the difference between Zeta's draft this game and Primal Instinct's draft from last game. They have opted for Renekton, which is a classic lane dominant pick in that top set, and will actually allow for Riddy to get some pressure from their top laner. Should they decide to go for any top invades onto that red quadrant. And Varus as well is the start of a fairly strong bot lane that can at least fight for pressure. Curious to see what Primal Instinct round out with. Maybe a top laner to match the Renekton, and it will be that Darius that was banned away in game number 1.
Okay, nice. So, excuse me. I'm really liking these first 3
the
picks.
The Nami got you again?
No. Still clearing out the Nami though. But still clearing it out.
Fair enough.
But anyway, I'm liking these picks here for both teams on, especially actually, yeah, they mirrored each other.
Yeah,
they literally mirrored each other. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so I just had to take a second to really look. But yeah, I like that. So that now leads me to ask you, Septi, what are we going to look to take away here from both teams? Obviously, we want to target support and mid laners, but you only get 2 bans. So as you can see, they've already taken out one, which is the Alistar, obviously, to knock away the J4, who may look for an engage, or the Darius if he decides to go ghost or something. But what do you think Zeta is going to look to take away to keep their
Zeta
carries safe?
Yeah, I think Zeta is going to keep targeting down Flow the Zone in this mid lane. You know, taking away that Nico is going to be very good. I think that might take away the Azir as well in a second here. Just because that's a very solid and really, I mean, I think good pick in this game for Primal Instinct should they decide to actually go for it. It is also a Shima pick, so they might be willing to take it away on 4. But I like what Primal Instinct did. They banned away the Alistar and they banned away the Lissandra, which means they have an idea, I think, of what they want to pick on 4 here. And typically when you ban the likes of Lissandra, you're banning it so that you can pick something like an Ahri, something like a LeBlanc, something that is fairly mobile in that mid lane, that will allow you to, you know, play around and be fairly mobile. Curious to see what they go for. I mean, they have in the past, you know, picked the LeBlanc, they've picked the Azir. They've even picked the Nico, or sorry, picked the Talia rather, which I think is a fairly nice answer to the likes of Kindred and Renekton, but they are going to lock in the Blitzcrank, which
my god, I'm really liking this draft so far, because they've basically, like, even though it's not verbatim, they've swapped picks, right? White Primal Instinct played the Kindred last game, Zeta played the Blitzcrank. They've swapped them, so we're gonna see if basically these champions in other people's hands can look better or worse. As the Leona now being locked in here for the for Zeta though. So what will Shima play? Because they definitely need some AP. Please do not troll me.
Shima's gonna play LeBlanc or Azir.
Yeah, I was thinking LeBlanc. Yeah, or
Shima will play LeBlanc or Azir. LeBlanc did get some nice AP buffs recently. My guess is the Azir. It's pretty standard here unless Shima is feeling something spicy. But I mean, what I like about this Blitzcrank pick is that it sort of calls out Coffee a little bit, because I mean, we saw what the Blitzcrank was able to do in his hands in that game number 1, and he's definitely a player that likes to roam around the map. I think is definitely the best way to put it. Likes to, you know, be in, you know, enemy lanes, likes to, you know, surprise the enemy laners with some ganks, you know, when Riddy's either around or not around. And what this Blitzcrank does, as I called the Talia out, I'm just gonna say it. Anyway, what this Blitzcrank, what this Blitz does on the red side is actually makes Coffee actually prioritize staying in lane. So a lot of the time, you know, I think the Zeta, you know, support is gonna have second move to a lot of these fights. You know, if they don't have vision on the Blitzcrank, just because your Varus is not the same as an Ezreal, does not have that same ability. And so when you don't have a flash on the 12-second cooldown, you have to be very wary of getting pushed in and, you know, killed by this Blitzcrank on repeat. But with Talia locked in last, I mean, it is a really nice answer to most of everything that Dorado Gaming is going to have. I mean, Azir has a nightmare. Azir, Renekton, Kindred, even Leona, you know, have nightmares when they think about the unraveled earth from Talia. But I mean, we're going to have to see what Flow the Zone does, because, I mean, we saw them do good amounts of damage on that Lulu in game number 1, but playing this Talia is not generally their style. They generally like to stonewall the mid lane and just play to support their team later. So playing, you know, a roaming, pushing style mage is not something that we see from them normally. And, you know, looking forward to seeing what they can do on it.
But in the same instance, though, it will be a good 2v2 matchup, especially as of right now. Let me see. I think I favor the Talia J4 early game, at least.
Yeah.
In that 2v2, just because, you know, once again, the unraveled earth for the Talia into the stun, knockback, and then J4 knocking up. So they can definitely get some early lane pressure, early kills, if it's whether it's a gank in the mid lane, or if they even decide to roam up to the top lane or roam bot lane, you know. So yeah, something to definitely keep an eye on here for Primal Instinct White. But of course, as time progresses, the Azir will catch up and become that much more of a threat, and something to definitely be wary of as we get later into the game, especially that Emperor's Divide there, which can be used to obviously deter all these champions that want to get in the Varus's and Kindred's face. But I also want to talk about what Riddy and how Zeta will try and utilize this Kindred here, because we saw in game 1 that it wasn't it didn't live up to its max potential. It only I think he ended the game with 2 marks, right?
Less than 4 for sure.
Yeah, definitely less than 4. So like,
Thank you, PVS. It was 3. Was the number.
See, this is why producers are awesome.
This is why, yeah, exactly.
I love PVS. Yeah, shout out PVS, man. Good producers, man. They're the best. I can only hope to live up to their potential one day. But
all right, redacted. Okay. Anyway, we're talking about the Kindred here, and I think what you were gonna go for was, you were talking about how this Kindred was gonna play, and I think that it's gonna be interesting because I think Riddy has the whole world at his fingertips, because when you look at the bot side, I think you think that Varus and Leona are gonna get pushed in a lot by this Ezreal Blitzcrank. That's at least how I feel. Just because Blitz is constantly gonna be able to threaten hooks, Ezreal outranges the Varus for a whole lot of the game.
Yeah.
And so Kindred will
the poke
have
too.
yeah, the poke as well. So Kindred will have an opportunity to make ganks happen on that bot side. In the mid lane, it will be pretty even. Azir definitely has the shove to potentially look at Tilia, but it also has that wave clear. First item components once they're able to pick up that lost chapter. And so Riddy will be able to play with them around then. As well as a very nice top laner to play with. I think the only worry is that early 2v2s between mid and between top lane, I don't think Dorado Gaming win, purely because those bruisers in Jarvan and Darius are just so strong in early game scenarios when you're not able to one-shot them.
Definitely a skill matchup, I would say, or a little bit of a hands matchup.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get hit by the Darius pull, the Jarvan knockup, then it becomes a different story. But
yeah,
I mean, and in the early game, I just don't think Azir has enough damage to fight 2v2.
But late game,
I mean, even post one item, Azir damage becomes really nice. My guess is that Shima will go for probably the Leandris this game.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Or Crown. I think people have been playing a lot of Crown recently just because of the crazy buffs the item has gotten. But I think I'll save our takes, redacted, for when we actually get into the game, because I'm pretty sure we have a whole lot more to talk about. And
all right, so who do you think is gonna win?
Ooh, oh, okay. I was gonna say, who do I mean,
I honestly, this time I think Primal Instinct are gonna take game 2.
I think they definitely have an easier composition to play. I think Dorado Gaming is a momentum-based team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, with the game 1 they had and with the picks that they have, I think most of these players are pretty synonymous with their picks. I think yes. Coffee might be the only one that's not, because they just haven't played support as much. But I mean, I think of Shima and I think of Azir, I think of Riddy and I think of Kindred, I think of Hazem and I think of picks like the Renekton. So I think they definitely have it in their bag to make this game happen. But I also think Primal Instinct have a good shot. But for this game, I definitely got to tip my hat towards Dorado. I just like what they did in game number 1, and I think they can carry it throughout the rest of the series.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
well.
Yeah. With that said, we're going to take a short little break before we get into game number 2 of Primal Instinct White versus Dorado Gaming Zeta. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here in AML Game 2. Dorado Gaming Zeta against Primal Instinct White. Zeta on the blue side, Primal Instinct White on the red. And we have ourselves at least a 5-champ stack on the Instinct side. So, Septi, while Instinct are looking for a little cheese here, you know the drill. You know what I ask whenever I cast, so I'm not even going to preface it. Or has it been that long that you forgot?
It's been a minute, Redacted, so you're not
Summoner spells and runes. Summoner spells and runes, man.
Well, I'll let you know after Hazem flashes his hook.
Oh god. What's happening?
Oh, he started E. What a Chad.
Or he took E.
That is true. Well, started E, took E, didn't level up, took E. Chad, either way, as wards are going to be swapped on that blue there. And you wanted to know about runes, and I think the most interesting set is going to be the mid lane runes, just because I think we normally see First Strike on Talia's, and I think we normally see Conquerors on Azir.
Yeah,
and
Airy.
As well as we have a Hail of Blades on Joker, which signals to me that we might have a fight in this top side.
Oh, for sure.
This Hazem definitely did not come out ahead in that trade. Gets a good amount of damage in favor of Birdo.
Favor of Goomba Golem?
Goomba Golem, Birdo, the red side, the red side. Anyway, I'm not on my game. I gotta hold on. We gotta redo this.
Did you get Nami ganked?
I got ganked by someone. I don't know. My brain's not working right now. But anyway, we're looking at runes, and I think Dorado Gaming have gone for some interesting ones. I mean, we talked about it. Shima has the Airy, which I think it just means they're going to be looking for a bit more poke with autos from Flow the Zone onto Flow the Zone. Joker going to be going for that Halo Blade, which signals to me that it will either be an AP build or a lethality build, as Flow going to hit level 2 early on Shima, who takes a whole lot of damage. Giving a little bit of payback from the level 2 of game number 1. But on the other side, I think the most critical thing to note is that Flow the Zone has gone for the phase rush on Talia instead of something like a First Strike that we normally see.
That means plenty of chase down, I believe. He wants to get that movement speed and chase people down. That movement speed.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what situations they see themselves needing it. You know, because I mean, we think about Talia, and she should already be playing at a range that allows her to just throw stones consistently. But I think a matchup that we have to be watching this game is going to be that top side, because Hazem, you know, very well known for playing this Renekton, is a very good bruiser player, is a very good lane bully player for this Dorado Gaming team, and Goomba Golem has had a whole lot of success on this Darius for the side of Primal Instinct White. So seeing how this game goes is going to be, I think, really important for the rest of the map, because I mean, we talked about how Kindred needs lane pressure to make things happen, and if Hazem isn't able to get it, then it could spell disaster for the Dorado Gaming jungler.
Yeah, and right now for the Dorado Gaming jungler, there is a ping coming out on the map, so Primal Instinct are aware where Riddy is. No marks appearing on the board just yet, and there it is, the first one already on the top lane scuttle, but Birdo is there. So unfortunately for Riddy, he will have to wait a bit longer before he gets that first mark. Zeta call it out on the map, so they are aware. I don't even think Zeta are gonna get both scuttles at this point now. So let's see what Riddy's gonna look for. Just gonna path towards the top side of the map here, but I'm not sure why. There's no way they can dive this early.
No, he wants to make sure that Hazem gets this wave in, I believe.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And for the time, and well, with Goomba, they might actually try and go for the dive anyway. Goomba Golem doesn't have teleport available, so the fact that Hazem is, they're not gonna go for it. Korean Daddy actually around here. Hex Flash gonna be coming in on this Blitzcrank.
Okay, Shima will just dash away though, and everything's a-okay. Berta in the area as well. Ezreal can play bot lane by himself. He just shouldn't have much to fear from the Leona Varus combo here. He can just arcane shift away from that Zenith Blade.
Look at this play developing on the bot side. Jarvan could get spotted here on the Krugs in just a second if they use their abilities incorrectly. Maybe force the flash here.
All right. Coffee taking out that control ward here. Now Birdo will be spotted on the Zeta control ward. Flash from Coffee does connect the stun
Riddy missed the jump.
Riddy missed the jump. Joker's on the other side of the map. Birdo will dash over. Stunned again by Coffee though, but Varus by himself will have to flash away. Shahaz now looking for the takedown onto Joker. Has been ticking that 80 carry down. Flow the zone, gets first blood with the flash forward, and another kill coming over for the Primal Instinct side. It's a double kill into the Talia, and they will find 2.
Yeah, and crucially, Flow the Zone has had the push in this mid lane, which means that Shima was actually second to get their recall off. And as a result, Flow the Zone was already back on the map and was able to actually have push and move to that fight first, which is why we were able to see them actually have such a strong influence on that fight and able to actually lay down a really nice E to catch Riddy with, when they tried to go for that jump there. Really unfortunate that Riddy failed that jump over the Krug wall. I think that play could have been really good for the side of Dorado. Or at least been maybe a little bit more clean, because once Joker walks up the river like that, you are committing to a fight in that river. And as we see Joker pick up that tier on the bot side, it is going to definitely confirm that he's going for that lethality poke build. And something critical to note about Dorado is that they have a tendency to forget that there's a new game from time to time.
Oh wow, Shima with the Emperor's Divide into the hands of Riddy here. Flow the zone on the retreat, but Riddy gets the shutdown. And that's... No, he still has no marks. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, damn, that's sad.
It's okay, because that's 300 gold in favor of the Dorado Gaming jungler.
But he needs the marks.
He needs the money too, though, Redacted. And honestly, he should be able to pick up this mark. The mark should spawn onto this top crab in just a second here. If my knowledge of Kindred is correct.
It should, because, yeah, if it's not on the bot one, it should spawn on the top one. I believe this one.
He will be trading the red buff for it, though, as we see Goomba Golem with a wave that is no longer in their control, and a 3-man squad from Dorado that is trying to make it pay for it.
Here we go. This Riddy get mark number 2 now on the chase here. Goomba Golem has to fight or die. Elects to fight, but will just die, as Riddy is now on a killing spree. And this, my friends, is how you play Kindred in the early game.
Yeah, 2 marks in less than 30 seconds. But on the other side, I mean, they are going to be training plates as well as jungle camps on the side of Primal Instinct White. So they should be able to pick up this cloud for themselves, which is going to be very nice for Korean Daddy and Flow the Zone. And Shima taking a whole big trade there for absolutely nothing but a couple of minions. And on the other side, I mean, Goomba Golem might get caught out again here between the towers, just based off of where Riddy is sitting. Should the Darius not sniff it out?
You know what's funny, Septi, is I think about it. I mean, I haven't casted a lot recently, but from the times I have seen Shima play, I've never really seen him lose lane, even though he's getting harassed a lot right now. Like his CS is still yeah, exactly. That's literally what I was about to say. Like his CS numbers are still pretty good. So
the Shima things.
Okay. They already dealt with it.
I think we had a micro pause.
Yeah.
If you see a stutter on the screen, it is not your Twitch. It is just Riot Games. As Riddy gonna get caught out again.
Oh boy, Riddy! Wow, hook from Korean Dad. Oh, that feels bad. But the shutdown over to the Primal Instinct side as they get the shutdown into Korean Daddy's pockets.
Yeah, that's not where you want it to go. That 300 gold could have been nice for the mid laner of Primal Instinct. It definitely could have been definitely more lane influential, as they are gonna pick up those lucidity boots on that bot side there. I mean, Riddy just getting a little bit too aggressive is very strong. They're going to be finishing that Kraken Slayer at 850. Another pre-9-minute finish for a Dorado Gaming team, as Goomba Golem going to be doing Darius things and just being an absolute pain in the butt for Dorado Gaming's jungler, taking away their blue buff for absolutely no punishment. Sorry, I get triggered as a jungler when I see top laners just freely able to roam into my jungle and take my buffs. But I mean, looking at the way this map is going, we see Cafe Chocolata on the top side looking for a Herald play. And Shima now, for the first time, I think, in this lane, has first move into the river. As, hold on, Hazem gets caught by a hook.
Hazem getting caught by the hook. Korean Daddy roaming a lot, just like you said he would. Dominus now activated, looking for those procs. Slice and dice through the Primal Instinct members. Now on the retreat, but Zeta is here to assist. Shima with the Emperor's Divide the wrong way. We'll have to flash away, but Birdo says, no, you do not. You're locked in this cataclysm, and you're gonna go down. Flow the zone with a takedown once again. Now 3-1 on this Talia here. Primal Instinct White punish Zeta for 2.
Yeah, I mean, Primal Instinct White did a really nice job. I think they sniffed out maybe that Dorado Gaming was going to be trying to go for that Herald, or at least knew the general timing for it. And so when they pulled up Korean Daddy, it was a really nice job. I think they spotted that the Herald was being done by the Dorado Gaming team. And rule number 1, I think, for every top laner is when your team is doing Herald, the last thing you want to do just get into a fight, is Riddy's gonna be forced to flash here.
Oh,
yeah,
Riddy, you know that's illegal by yourself at this point, man.
I think credit has to go to flow to the zone though. Has been doing
Absolutely.
super well on this Talia pick. I think we questioned, how they were going to be able to do in this game. Had been going.
Oh no, I knew.
Mostly,
I knew.
You knew?
I knew.
I
picked them to win. Remember?
Sure.
It's Korean Daddy knocks up Shima here. Silences him with the ultimate. Flow the zone, looking for the takedown. Will flash away from Coffee's stun, but they find Shima anyway due to Birdo dashing forward there. The Unravel Earth goes wide, but Cappy goes in anyway. Riddy with the ultimate there, keeping his support alive as Coffee finds the takedown onto Talia. It's a 1-for-1 for both mid laners.
This is the scary thing about Dorado, is both when you play against them as
Joker
well as
on the other side of the map here, fighting Shahaz. Sorry to cut you off as he now locks up Ezreal. Will flash away from the ultimate. Oh, and the evo for the extra BM.
Very nicely played by Joker. A little bit worried when they autoed the minion twice there in that fight, but no big deal for the Dorado Gaming AD carry. But no, what I was gonna say is that Dorado Gaming do something really well. That is both a positive thing for the team as well as a detriment to them, and that is they like fighting early.
Oh, for sure.
And they are really not able to not fight early. And so when you pick a composition that has Azir Kindred, it is really scary because you already know that they're going to look for engagements all around the map, but you also know that both champions are not the strongest in the first 15 minutes of the game. Yes, Kindred has their moments, but I mean Azir definitely is not one of the champions that you think of when you think of early game.
Another leg.
Yeah, Riddy is lagging, it appears, for Dorado Gaming. But I mean, we saw it on the top side. I think just not enough damage some of the times, and just bruisers like Darius and like Jarvan just do so much for their teams in these early games that you can't really match it with the champion picks you have on the Dorado Gaming side. So the fact that they're able to trade gold is really nice for this blue side here. All the while, Joker just casually farming it up on the bot side. Not really too bothered by what's going on, apart from that one little whoopsie fight in the bot side river. It's been a pretty solid game for them. Up 4 CS, and don't worry about the freeze. It is not you, it is Riot Games.
Small indie company, just working on their spectator stuff. As Korean Daddy and Birdo now getting some vision here on the red side jungle for Zeta. Cappy Zenith Blade going completely wide there. Riddy though now marking Birdo here, and I want to see a Kindred end up with more than 4 marks this game. Please, can we make it happen? As Infernal Drake now spawning here, and it looks like both teams are going to contest this, so we're gonna have ourselves some more team fights this game here, Septi.
Yeah, and it looks like we are on the verge of another one happening as Darius.
Okay, hold on, as the Leona ultimate connects onto 2. Birdo finds 2 as well, and there's Shahaz on the top side of the bounce side of the map, but Zeta has just cleared out the jungler of Primal Instinct White and the support as well, but Gombo Golem looking for more, looking for Joker, using that ghost there, trying to get the ultimate, will not be able to. Flow the zone takes out the Zeta jungler as Hazem is here to assist and make sure that his team does not go down without a fight. Joker finds another, gets the shutdown on Flow the Zone, was trying to take out the Ezreal, but he knows his team will just clean it up, and it's gonna be a delayed ace for Zeta.
Yeah, I mean, very well played from Zeta. It looked a little bit scary when when Shima got caught out there, but they were able to actually play it really well. Hazem putting pressure on the carries of that team, and they kited out just enough for Hazem to, make the lasting effort in that fight. But now it looks like Hazem might have overstayed.
And good TP from Hazem this time, Septi. That was something we talked about last game.
Maybe a slight overstay.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
flash.
If he didn't flash, he was dead for sure.
Yeah. All right, well done from Hazem there. But no, I mean, a 5 for 3, I believe it was, in favor of Dorado Gaming there, as they now go ahead on the kill score there. Gold still pretty even. Dorado Gaming
Drake
up
number
1K. 2. What's up? Drake
number 2, like round 2 of this Drake fight.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
No, round 2 of the Drake fight. Sorry, that's what I was saying. As that solar flare goes wide, Zeta having purchase in this pit here first will start to just proxy Oh, okay. Primal Instinct White are not even gonna contest this time, so.
Yeah, cool. I mean, Darius is up on the top side without teleport, and so it is a 5v4 on this dragon fight here. Shima gonna just collect their mid wave with, you know, nothing really bothering them. And I think, I mean, you talked about it before, the fact that Shima has been pretty consistent on this pick has been really nice for them. And something I actually want to note is that while we've been seeing, you know, a good amount of success from Riddy on this Kindred pick, they have not really been able to keep up in the farm compared to Birdo on the Jarvan, down 30 in the jungle, but still up about 1,000 gold in their favor, just from kills and assists alone, as well as that Herald, I believe, went the way of the Dorado Gaming jungler. But now, I mean, we are just gonna settle into a bit of a lull state, I believe, until teams decide to go for a Herald, as I see that Kofa Chocolata putting themselves in a fairly aggressive position to get Blitzcrank hooked. But this game, we see a whole lot more mythics completed redacted. People are following the Riot Games script. They're following the intended way to play the game. As some potential pressure building on the top side. Birdo trying to catch out the bird of Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, I was reading our producer's Twitch comments.
PVS, stop distracting my co-caster in Twitch chat, please.
Hey, PVS is kind of BM, man. This guy's funny.
No, PVS is not afraid to let it fly in the Twitch chat. I will say.
He's hilarious. Shima. Oh, okay.
Did not see the Blitzcrank.
But the Unraveled Earth goes wide. But okay, it's a 1-for-1.
It's not the end of the world.
Top laner for the mid laner. Yeah,
Shima did a whole lot of damage as well with that shuffle.
Ooh, Solar Flare connects onto 2. Hasm goes in with the slice and dice flow the zone already taken out. Korean Daddy next on the menu. Double kill for Riddy. Now Shahaz and Birdo on the retreat. Coffee flashing forward. Shahaz and the J4. Riddy really wants the takedown, or at least the assist, as Joker will flash and take Shahaz off the board. Kindred now with 3 marks at least, so he has equaled his counterpart from game 1, and Zeta will also get this Rift Herald.
Yeah, this series has been the Joker Riddy show, as Joker has been quietly able to amass himself good. Well, Hasm has had their moment this game. Has been, you know, playing pretty well.
Supporting actor.
Yeah. As I think Joker, as I was about to cast a curse them, is overstaying in the mid lane. Well, nice knowing you, Joker.
One of the several sins of an ADC.
I was about to perform. I was about to compliment him for having, you know, quietly amassed.
Flash. And blue flash.
Joker had quietly amassed a very nice, you know, gold lead for themselves in that bot lane there, moving to 5-2 or 5-3 or 4-3 and 5 now. Gonna be moving towards that finished Manamine in just a second. But no, I mean, I've been farming well, is up, you know, 13 CS on their lane opponent. Almost was able to take down that mid tower. As I like how, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I like how, you know, when Riot Game changed the alive and dead pinging to, you know, only you being able to see it.
Wait, is that live? Oh, it is live now.
Yeah, I like how as junglers we can see when people still do it, but we see the self tag still. So
that
like,
is
Riddy pinged that Joker died, but only Riddy could see it, but also we could see it.
That's
anyway,
such an interesting change. I don't know why they did that.
It's because people were being toxic with pinging people alive all the time when they do something wrong.
It's actually useful information for like majority of the rest of us. So you took it away from the rest of us because of a few bad apples.
Yeah, I mean,
when you can already mute people's pings.
That is true.
We're definitely getting off topic here, but
just a little bit. But I said
we're in a lull state,
going to fall into a bit of a lull state. Dragon is going to be spawning in 50 seconds time. Dorado Gaming has gotten their bases off. I think the only people with gold are Joker and Shima, who will now be starting their bases. But with the current Dragon.
Sorry, I just
what happened?
So
I need
PBS is counting. PBS is counting how many times we say lull state, and right now we're currently on 2.
Okay, we've said it twice in the last 3 minutes. Okay, and to be fair, not much has happened besides, you know, top and mid trading deaths for each other.
That's
but
no, I think.
Lol, it's, you know, I'm gonna say it again. For how normally AML goes, this is a pretty quiet set of 3 minutes. I didn't say it. I said lol. Okay. I just said the abbreviated name of the game.
Doesn't matter. You still said state.
Okay, that's 4 now. Anyway, Dragon gonna be started for the side of Primal Instinct White. It is going to be the Hextech Dragon, which I think both teams are going to be very interested in going for. Already on 4K.
Here we go. Solar Flare. Shahaz will Arcane Shift away. TP coming in, but Coffee already pulled in by the Blitzcrank. Take your eyes on the top side of the map here. Joker warding away Goomba Golem and Birdo away from this Varus. The True Shot Barrage comes through and wipes off a couple of the Zeta members. It's only 3 members of Zeta left behind.
Yeah, but
doing so much work as Primal Instinct Black are just being sliced and dies. Joker with a double kill. Korean Daddy on the retreat, and that's a near ace for Zeta, and they will get the Hextech Drake.
Very, very well played from the Dorado Gaming side. It looked a little bit scary when Shima went in a little bit late and was not able to get off the Shurima shuffle, but ultimately they were able to get the fight win. Riddy and Joker were able to stall just enough time for Hazem and Coffee to rejoin the fight, and then so much damage coming out from this Varus and Renekton that they were just absolutely able to run the fight in the end game. I mean, so much damage coming up from that Varus at the end of that fight. It was really, really impressive from Joker.
Yeah, so this reminds me, I was playing like solo queue a couple days ago, and Renekton, like, he killed me, right? And I was like a 3 or 4 build Kaiser, right? And I was just like, wait, Renekton can do that now? And they're like, yeah, he's a carry now, dude. And I was just like, ugh. So Daddy Nectin apparently definitely back in the meta. Very annoying as an AD carry player, but you know, it is what it is.
My hot take is that Renekton is B1 R1 when we get to Worlds.
Okay.
That is my hot take that I don't think is very hot. I think just all the Eastern teams will be picking this champion constantly.
Wait, so basically we're gonna be seeing Renekton blind, like pretty much.
We're gonna be seeing.
Yeah, you said B1 R1. You said
yeah,
B1
we're gonna
R1.
see Renekton at the rate that we normally see Renekton.
I thought Korean Daddy would pull Coffee there because they did chunk him out quite a bit. But
I think it might have been on cooldown.
Okay.
I'd assume at least, or they were just worried about all 4 members being behind the Leona there.
So now, while we're in another lull state here,
oh jeez, it's been 90 seconds since the last thing happened, and actually this is pretty exciting though, because Primal Instinct are doing a good job. They're trying to actually collect vision around this mid lane. You threaten a Baron take, but I mean, looking around at the rest of the map, they're going to be able to get a free tower on the spot side because Dorado Gaming was too caught up in trying to fight for this top side vision, and now they will finally retake it as Goomba Golem shows on this top lane here. And it doesn't really seem like either team have a solid plan of approach. Dorado Gaming, doing a decent job. Not going to sweep out that last ward in the mid bush. Another team actively making an effort to create pressure in any side lane. I think Shima being the nope, never mind. Shima is just going to back, not going to push past the river. As I think both teams are just trying to, get their items. They're trying to collect item number 2. As I think Shima might be trying to back for their finished Nashor's Tooth. 60 stacks remaining on Joker's Manamune.
Yeah, oh, okay, hold that thought. I'm about to make a comment as Korean Daddy will pull Coffee once again. Riddy on the retreat, poked out a bit by Shahaz there. Hazem looking for the flank angle. Coffee does find the Zenith Blade and Solar Flare onto 1, and they already take out the Blitzcrank here. But Shahaz and the rest of Primal Instinct White on the retreat. Slow the zone can only do so much with those Qs there. Shima did teleport in on the bot side of the river, and they will just chase away Primal Instinct White away from this Baron buff. True Shot Barrage chunking out Zeta quite a bit here. They might not have enough HP to take on this Baron, so they will have to retreat for the time being.
That Arcane Barrage from Shahaz is crucial to keeping Dorado Gaming away from finishing this Baron or starting this Baron up.
Mark check. Oh, Riddy's at 4. Cool.
Riddy is now at 4 marks. I mean, it was a 2-for-1 in favor of Dorado. I think they're totally happy with that. They're going to be working towards setting up for Drake number 4. It is just going to be, pretty standard for the time being. People are going to start taking their backs. And with, second items and some people finishing their third items coming through, I think we're kind of seeing how this game is going to go. I think that fight would have been much more detrimental for the side of Primal Instinct White if Flow the Zone was not able to find such a good fight-splitting Weaver's Wall I think the fact that only, I want to say it was Hazem and Kava Chocolata on the other side of the wall trying to hit the Darius. But I mean, it was a good job from Flow the Zone. I think we talked about it in the pregame, we talked about it a little bit earlier on, but this Talia has not, left me wanting for good play. I think they've been doing a good job.
Yep.
They definitely showed, very, very strong knowledge of the champion in that early game when they were fighting for pressure.
And I have to say, oh, go ahead. I thought you were finished.
No. Go for it.
I was gonna say, I know PVS was kind of BMing a little bit in Twitch chat, but Birdo being slotted in definitely does. You can see a little bit of a difference in the way Primal and Stink White has played. So I do think that subbing in Birdo has helped a bit, and has definitely done them some favors for sure. Not to say that Shiv did bad, but just
here we go.
As the solar flare connects once again, and they already take out the Blitzcrank. That Varus poke is so much. Lamb's Respite will keep Zeta alive just a bit longer, but they're locked inside the Cataclysm here as Flow the Zone is starting to poke out a few members of Zeta here. The Joker with a triple kill on the other side of the map. Flow the Zone looking to get something back in return. Will get the double. Hazem now between a rock and a hard place. Will flash on the Talia here. Gets the kill. And that's a 4-1 and 10 Renekton now, and that is another Hextech Drake for Dorado Gaming Zeta.
Yeah, another really well played fight from Dorado Gaming there. I think they stepped up, a great engage coming out from Kava Chocolata there to find that engage onto Korean Daddy, who wasn't really able to do too much there. And I think we saw the difference in keystones for these two supports. We saw we saw the Aftershock on Leona, and I was a little bit curious as to what it might be used for, but it is being used to go in a little bit maybe ahead of where the rest of your team is and survive through all the onslaught for long enough for your team to actually make it to you. And we saw Goomba Golem stack up the stacks onto Cafe Chocolata and not quite be able to actually land the Noxian Guillotine, because Riddy was able to place down a very nice Lamb's Respite to keep Cafe Chocolata alive, as well as deny the reset.
Yeah. And, I have to say, despite the fact that even Shima is 1-6 and 8 on here, I mean, the Asir is still doing his job, right? He's able to get this Emperor Divide off or just do some damage. It's not prime. He doesn't have to be the carry this game. You just have to be a caster minion and chunk out.
That's plus one kill.
Plus one kill. Chunk out some of these Flow the Zone. Or not Flow the Zone, Primal Instinct White members here as they take out Flow the Zone and the Blitzcrank actually in the red jungle. And now Zeta will work on Baron Nashor. For the first time this game, Shahaz here with these folks, but cannot really land the Q, cannot land much actually. Coffee will... I'm not even, there's nothing to say about that.
I understand that E, because it was trying to get the Q off and instantly snap away.
Why was he by himself though? I mean, sure, Birdo was like coming, but you're right, Ezreal.
I mean, Shahaz was just trying to poke them out. I think that's one of those champions that can definitely it's the type of champion that can be annoying. It's sort of the same with like Vigars and Ziggs. When enemy team is doing Baron, you can kind of stand around the edge and just throw skill shots at them to take advantage of the armor and MR reduction that Baron gives to the team doing it. So I understand why he's there, but I mean, just tried to get a little bit too fancy. Tried to cast the Q in one direction and E the other way at the same time, and just did not quite move their hand fast enough, and accidentally E the wrong direction.
If I knew a One Direction song, I would definitely make a joke there, but I don't have a single pun I can come up with, so just gonna have to let it slide.
Not gonna bait me, my friend. I don't know any either. Anyway, Baron gonna be Dorado Gaming Zeta gonna be wearing purple as they now approach.
Are we in a low state?
No, we're not. We're not. Dorado Gaming have the Baron buff as Cafe Chocolate actually gonna land a very nice Zenith Blade.
Oh, as he's now grabbed by the rocket grab, but Flow the Zone already taken off the board. Will not just flow anywhere. And Zeta now encroaching on this mid lane turret here. Birdo locking them into a 3-man cataclysm, but it's just to delay the inevitable here, as now Zeta working on this mid lane inhibitor. They might just try to end that poke from Joker is doing so much work. Another grab, but you grab the croc, you best not get got. And it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. Hasm and Zeta taking another member of Primal Instinct White off the menu. It's an ace for Dorado Gaming Zeta, and it is a clean 2-0 lead for Dorado Gaming Zeta.
Yeah, a very, I guess, unexpected closeout. You know, if you had asked me how that game was going to play out when they picked up the Baron buff, I would not have told you it would end in less than 3 minutes. But no, I mean, very nice catch from Coffee onto Flow the Zone there. I mean, just sets up a very nice play. I think Birdo might have lost their mind a little bit seeing their mid laner get caught like that. In reality, I think Birdo tried to clear the wave with that Cataclysm and was unable to do so. And I mean, we saw them. They, had a couple opportunities, but Dorado Gaming had an answer every time. You hooked Hazem under the tower, doesn't matter. Had the stopwatch. You catch out Cafe Chocolata after they go for the engage, has a stopwatch. And so Dorado Gaming just very clean with the closeout of that game. Joker again with a 10+ kill game under their belt. This Varus has been looking very good for the Zeta 80 carry. So much so that I wonder if it hits the ban phase next game.
I was thinking that as soon as you were talking about it. But go ahead.
But I think my last thing before I let you go is, like, I think looking at this, I don't think you can really point fingers as to one thing that Primal Instinct did wrong this game. Because we saw it, we saw shades of really, good things happening. We saw Korean Daddy going for some good roams, playing with Flow the Zone well. We saw the Talia, getting good push for Birdo to actually have, some say on the map as to what they wanted to do, but just never looked like they were the proactive team in a lot of these engages. We saw Cafe Chocolata going for, some crazy solar flares and Zenith blades into the team. And again, with that Aftershock, was able to survive long enough for their team to respond and, throw in that follow-up damage.
Coffee is definitely a madman here for sure. But I do want to talk about Primal Instinct White. I did like how they played for the most part, most of the game. I'm trying to figure out like what they could do better, because Flow the Zone, I mean, the Talia was absolutely fine. I think Birdo did pretty well on the J4 as well, with the ganks. Probably around these neutral objectives, they probably could clean it up a bit more. I would say around that part for sure. The Ezreal didn't really get to be as effective as he probably would have hoped. But I mean, how can you, right, when you have a Varus poke coming through, a Leona trying to dive you as well? So maybe trying to play a bit more front to back, because I did see Flow the Zone quite a bit, oftentimes trying to find a flanking angle, which, as a Talia, that's valid, but up to a certain point, when you probably are the main damage dealer on your team, you should probably just more than likely try and group up with your team a bit more and poke out the enemy until someone makes a mistake, so that Blitzcrank can just pull them in and then you guys can chunk them out. But
yeah, I think if I were to diagnose, Primal Instinct, I think what we've been seeing from Dorado that we haven't really been seeing from their opponents in this series has been, I think, just coordinated team plays. Because I think we've seen a bunch of times where Dorado Gaming, will group up as, two or three additional people to a lane. We see Vriddy and we see Cafe Chocolata, come together and, make a play on mid, or we see them go top together. And I think for the most part, it's really just been Korean Daddy for the side of Primal Instinct White sort of making solo plays. Hasn't really had, the direct support of their mid or their jungler consistently, I'll say. It happens from time to time, but I don't think it's consistent enough where they're able to create a lasting advantage in the game. And that might be something that I think is going to be the difference maker moving into this game number 3 is, if they're not able to, clean that up and actually communicate and work together, and I think we might be seeing a Dorado 3-0.
Yeah, I actually I can't believe I'm saying that, but I can't believe we might see a Dorado 3-0 tonight. Wow.
This is his whole team. We're talking crazy redacted.
He said this is his whole team. So what you're telling me is
we're
that
talking crazy.
Are we guaranteed one content game? Because not that I'm BMing Primal Instinct White, but look, I'm gonna be real. If I could end this cast before 10 o'clock,
that would be preem.
But like Zol says, it's always in the contract that there's a content game. And if there's any game that's going to be content, it's probably going to be game 3. But I don't know. Zeta, as of recently, not as of recently, but Coffee, he's kind of been saying, oh, we're not really that good. We've been trying to like get better, blah, blah, blah. There's been a lot of doubt on Zeta. So maybe they're going to just take this full business professional and just try and end this cleanly. So that way, they'll put the rest of the teams on notice.
If there were any ego in this game number 3, it would be a Joker Seraphine game, is what it would be.
They better not.
It would be a Joker Seraphine game in game number 3. Would be the style that they went for.
Or Joker Ash game.
Or Joker Ash at least is an 80 carry, and he's put a decent amount of it displayed.
I know, and I don't like seeing it on.
Ash and Varus are the same champion. What are you on about? They just press R, enemy team is stunned. But we're gonna take a short break. We can have all the speculation we want. We'll come up with some crazy theories in the break, but before game number 3, Redaction and I and PVS are going to take a short little water break, and you should do the same. We're going to take a short little break, so stick around. We'll be back. Don't get Nami ganked. Don't drown with your own water. Just be smart with it, unlike Redacted. But we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back for game number 3 of Dorado Gaming Zeta versus Primal Instinct White.
Welcome back, everyone, and we are here live for our pick and bans of game number 3, round of 16 AML. It's Dorado Gaming Zeta against Primal Instinct White. Primal Instinct White once again have chosen to be on the red side, and our picks and bans, a little bit of variety here. It's Belvet and Ivern first. No, did they ban Ivern first last time? Oh, they did.
Yes, they did.
Oh, son of
First bans. Oh, no, my Seraphim prediction was wrong.
Okay, never mind. You bursted my bubble. Sorry.
Oh, man. Well, I mean,
Nobody wants to see Joker on Seraphim.
I think Joker wants to see Joker on Seraphim.
Still.
But yeah, I mean, we're moving into game number 3. This is do or die now for Primal Instinct White. I believe they have swapped their top laners for this game number
Kindred
3.
ban? Really? We banning Kindred?
Yeah, Riddy was too OP on that pick, and Dorado can't play it, I imagine. But I mean, critically, going into this game number 3, we have completely different not a completely different, but we have a different roster for each game that Primal Instinct have played so far. I mean, this is their win or go home game, so
that's why I'm like a little bit confused about the Kindred ban, because do we really ban a champ that we think is so much of an issue, or is it just like I want to make sure it's not a reaction ban, basically?
No, this is a strategy that a lot of teams have actually taken against Dorado Gaming. They'll ban the Jace sometimes, but a lot of the times Brady will just receive 3 bans from each team. Normally it's like normally they'll ban Belveth, Maokai, Sedge will be the bans that he receives.
Wow, they really banned the Ashe.
Here, I think Zeta will probably just go for another Varus pick unless we're in for a for fun game. Heimerdinger is going to be the hover, but I think that's a bit of trolley polioli from Alive. But no, I think yeah, Dorado Gaming Zeta, I think they're no nonsense unless this Yumi is locked in.
Nah.
Okay.
Joker on Varus
Saved
for 3 games.
Saved. No, I mean, Joker's been doing a really nice job.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's bedge that it's it has to be Varus 3 games in a row, but no knock on Joker.
I'm not mad at it.
Has been performing really well on the pick, so curious to see if they're able to do it for 3 games straight.
And I wonder if, I mean, there's 2 ways you can build him, right? We saw him go attack speed Joker, or attack speed Varus, attack speed Joker. And,
now all we have to see is AP Varus, and then we've seen him.
I was just about to say, what is the third? We're like, what if we get 3 different builds from Varus this game? That'd be Joker. If you're listening, please go AP Varus. Like, convince your team to let you do it, so that way we can get 3 Varus builds. I think that'd be.
We're
really
gonna
fun.
see a new pick from Flow the Zone in this Ari.
I like the Ari.
But I think it'll mean that Zeta probably respond with mid in this pick here. I assume it'll be Lissandra. If I were a betting man, I would say Dorado's next picks are Lissandra Viego.
Okay. How much you want to bet on it?
I'll bet you a high 5 with myself.
Actually, PVS hasn't done the channel points yet for game 3, so when that happens, then you can just bet that.
PVS can be very happy that the Sivir has been picked as well.
Sivir salesman.
Primal Instinct, the Sivir salesman himself. But no, I think this shows a whole lot of what Primal Instinct are going to be going for. There's Lissandra, there's one. Because I think they're just going to be trying to stonewall. I think Shahaz is a very good player when it comes to just sitting and scaling. Was trying to put out a decent amount of damage in game number 2. I think just wants to farm. Just wants to have that safety with the spell shield should Varus decide to shoot that blighted arrow towards them. As I was wrong, I would have lost that bet. It is Renekton picked up for Hazem.
I do not blame Zeta at all. I mean, Shima did pretty well on Lissandra in game 1. Hazem was freaking killing it in game 2. So why not just combine all the picks that we're all doing great on and put them into one draft if they're not banned away from us?
And this is why you bring in Birdo, the Wukong pick. This is why they did it.
Okay, speak on it.
No, this is the type of pick that Birdo has in their locker that Viego's not even gonna get locked in because they're gonna ban it. No. Anyway,
I mean,
Shiva's definitely.
He has a lot of other things, so he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, how many bruisers? I mean, every jungler is a bruiser these days. Still has Jarvan, still has Kayn, still has I mean, not Kayn, but still has Graves if they want it. Actually, Graves is not bad this game. Zin is not bad this game. But anyway. Moving on to the Birdo pick. No, this is something that I imagine that Birdo plays that Shiv does not. Shiv definitely more of the carry type jungler, prefers your Kha'Zixes, your Hecarums, your Kindreds of the world. Whereas Birdo prefers we saw it last game. We saw it last game, with the Jarvan, now the Wukong, just to be that snap frontline engage that is also a bruiser and can, brawl early in the game. I think this red side comp is definitely something that we would have seen maybe closer towards the start of the year, when Wukong was a whole lot stronger and a whole lot more preferred in the jungle there. I mean, we're gonna have to see, if the nerfs have affected him at all. It's been a while, I think, since we've seen Wukong. The Divine Thunder build definitely is, still probably the premier build to go on the champion. Just a whole lot of healing. Should be pretty nice in this game, actually. But I mean, looking into ban in phase number 2, I think Dorado Gaming have a fairly good read as to what Mickey might be picking in that top side. They really like to flex Poppy between the support and top laner on Primal Instinct White, so they take it away. They take away the dash denial. Gwen gonna be the other lock-in, which signals to me that they're really trying to force Mickey onto a certain pick that might be potential Shen or Ornn coming out for the Primal Instinct top laner would be my guess. But it leaves you lacking for damage.
Yeah, and with that being said, then, so that makes me wonder, Septi, how Zeta will respond. I mean, we see they have a good top and mid lane pick here, right? So for their jungler,
that is not what I expected. It was in their pocket. I was not expecting the Fiora though, and this leads me to believe that Riddy might actually go for something maybe along the lines of a Nocturne.
Wow,
might be the angle.
Fiora. So I mean, you know what? It's game 3. You might as well put everything in. You might as well go for broke. You got to go for broke, because if you lose this anyway, then your playoff chances are over. So yeah, so that means Mickey's definitely throwing the gauntlet down to Hazem there in the top lane. So expect to see a lot of action as Riddy has selected his jungle pick, the Xin Zhao. Oh, you're sighing. Why are we sighing?
I'm going to sleep.
Why are we sighing? We don't like Xin Zhao no more?
No, Xin Zhao is fine. Just as a jungler, it's such a boring pick to play. I mean, it's definitely the pick here. I think Riddy has it right with the Xin Zhao. I think if you're smart, you're going Xin or you're going Vi here. And we're gonna see a coffee special with the Taric there.
This man coffee, man.
I like this pick a lot. I mean, PIW are gonna be diving into you super hard. You also have a bunch of stun set up with Renekton dash, Xin Zhao dash. And I mean, your primary goal is to keep your carry safe, and when you can apply an immunity to all of your divers, it's kind of crazy.
Support counter pick. Don't really see that too often on red side.
It's what? It'll be Leona. So more engage. This is an LPL game. Redacted. Everyone's going to be butting heads. It is going to be exciting and fast. And I think we'll be seeing a whole lot of kills every 10 minutes.
I'm down. Yeah. Okay. And so let's speak on it then. Let's start from the bot lane, right? Sivir, Leona, Varus, Taric.
We'll start with
nothing to speak on that. Let's just
it's the most boring lane.
That's why I said that's why we're starting from the bottom and moving up. There's nothing to speak on it. So now we'll move to the mid lane. Lissandra versus Ahri.
I mean, definitely has pretty even push in the early game. I think Lissandra might outpush Ahri for the first couple levels. Has a bunch of lockdown to keep her in place. The annoying nine-tailed fox there, trying to dash around and be super cute when Shima can just press R and she can't move any longer. It's going to be nice for the Dorado Gaming side. I think it'll be nice for Primal Instinct that they have a mid laner that does a bit more damage, I think, than Talia throughout the game. I think that pick was nice, but I think maybe you wanted something that can, I don't know, I was going to say roam better, but I think when you think of roaming, Talia is probably one of the best picks you can have. Yeah. I don't know why exactly they picked the Ahri when they knew that Zeta was going to respond with the Lissandra. Maybe just doing that for this hope of getting a good 2v2 with that Wukong pick on 3 is maybe the only reson I can think of it.
Wait, did you say they knew they were going to respond with Lissandra?
I think most people would have known that they were going to respond with Lissandra there. I mean, if you look at the ban phases, just going back and forth, they've been trading Ahri for Lissandra bans pretty constantly.
Okay.
At least is my read of it. But I mean, I don't know. I think mid lane will be pretty interesting. I think it'll definitely be jungle focus. I think probably Riddy will have more influence in this lane pre-6. And so I think Flow the Zone, like in game number 1, is going to have to be very wary as to where the Zeta jungler will be. And if they aren't, then I mean we could be seeing a whole lot of pressure and a whole lot of gold lost through this mid lane. But moving into the jungle, Redacted, I think the Xin Zhao, I mean, definitely has the advantage pre-6 with their ability to have ganks and have knockups and CC before needing their ultimate. And it's going to be on the laners of Primal Instinct to stay safe long enough for Birdo to join the game. And I think last but not least, looking at this top lane, we're gonna have to see if Mickey is warmed up going into this game, because I feel like most people would not be prepared to instantly go from watching your team go down 0-2 and then instantly get thrown in to just be completely ready to play Fiora versus Renekton.
And now you have essentially subbed out the top side of your map.
Yeah, you have. I mean, I don't know if it has to do with comms, if it has to do with champion picks. But I mean, they're trying something different, which I don't know. I think when I'm looking at Mickey's champion picks from the season, I was not expecting them to go for a Fiora pick, a Fiora type, because I think, I mean, for the most part, they've been playing champions to stonewall the game throughout most of the season. I mean, they've been playing your Poppies, your Shens, your Orns, your Malphites. And to show up and try and challenge Hazem, who's I think arguably been having a great series, has put Goomba Golem on the back foot in both games. I mean, it's going to be a tall task for the Primal Instinct mid lane, or top laner rather.
Absolutely, yeah. Hazem, once again, that silent supporting actor for the Zeta side, because I mean, quite frankly, we've been talking about the Riddy and Joker show for the most part, like, oh my god, they're doing so much damage, whatever, blah blah blah, look at them go. But Hazem, actually been playing this, he's been playing this series pretty well. And Hazem does well previously, I don't know about now, but did have somewhat of a reputation of a coin flip player. Sometimes you live by the Hazem, you die by the Hazem.
He's not playing GP. He's not playing GP Redacted. There's no GP
or Camille.
His Camille is better.
Actually,
I remember a time when Camille was permaban against this guy. Not anymore. But as we get into the spectator delay Redacted, I would like to ask you your predictions for game number 3.
Oh, I already put my coins in the casino. Did you? You gotta hurry up. Hurry up. You got 46 seconds. I put 4,500 on Zeta.
Ooh.
I thought about going all in, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to lose all my coins just yet.
I was gonna say I will match you with Primal Instinct, but I accidentally clicked the Dorado gaming one first.
No, you think Primal Instinct's gonna win this one? You tripping, bro?
I think they have. I think they actually have a chance.
Nah, it's over.
No, I think of all the drafts they've had, I think this is the most cohesive one. I think they have tools to fight at all points of the game. I think this Fiora is going to be a really scary side lane threat as they move throughout the game. The Sivir,
I hear you on that, man, but I don't care about none of that. I care about mentals and
that's fair.
And
that's fair.
What's the word? Propulsion, not propulsion. Momentum.
Momentum.
Word.
There we
go. And Zeta has all the momentum right now. I'm sure they're feeling great. Primal Instinct White, you can't deny that they're probably a little bit nervous. Once again, you subbed in your jungler game 2, you subbed in your top laner game 3, and now it's do or die. So, and you put your top laner on Fiora into the Renekton. So that means we have to see this Fiora get ahead. If she gets behind it, that's it.
You live and die by your champion picks Redacted, and with the blood pumping in Primal Instinct White's chest, we are going to go to a short break before we get into the match of the split for Primal Instinct White, the game decider for Dorado Gaming Zeta. We're going to get into game number 3 in just a minute, so stick around. We'll be right back.
to collide. Kaleidoscopic nightmare in my life. I love it, but it's evil in the light. Colors slow in the darkness rise. I want to shatter to pieces at a time. Pieces at a time.
Welcome back, everyone, for potentially the final game of our round of 16 match here. Dorado Gaming Zeta against Primal Instinct White. Zeta on the blue side, Primal Instinct White on the red. Septi, you know the drill.
I mean, taking a peek at runes, Korean Daddy has opted to go for the Aftershock like we saw with Cafe Chocolata in the last game. Taking a peek at the other side, though, Cafe Chocolata, I think, doing what Tarek does best, going for that Guardian, is definitely what we expect to see, you know, with the Ahri and the Wukong being sort of the main diving forces for the Primal Instinct White team. Joker as well has Cleanse, which is going to be very nice in case they get hit with the Errant, you know, Solar Flare or Charm. I do like that Jima has gone for the Electrocute again this game. It is going to be very good just to burst out, flow the zone in this mid lane. Curious to see, you know, no Electrocute.
Okay.
Birdo, not going to do anything too crazy as the counter invade going to come out for a ward. Where will they drop it? And will be spotted. Well, not quite going to be able to clear it there.
I love early game shenanigans because it's just so funny seeing the damage come out and it's like hitting someone with a pillow.
Yeah, I mean, Tarek can clear the wards.
Yeah.
With the attack speed that his passive gives him. But no, we're gonna see both junglers start their respective blue buffs, and this is gonna be interesting. I actually find it a little bit strange that Birdo is pathing away from his bot lane and from the dragons when this Wukong really just wants to be pushing for level 6, because a lot of the times we will see junglers, you know, that play for level 6 just path down, that by the time they finish their second clear, they will be on the bot side for the dragon. Maybe that's just a lower elo thing. But Raiden will be starting towards the bot side. We'll be playing to support their bot lane and potentially try and put this Sivir behind and scaling.
Absolutely. Riddy clearing out that top side of his map there. Flow the zone and Shima duking it out there, trading some HP. Same thing with Mickey and Hazem here. That Fiora misses the Q a bit early and will be stunned by Hazem here. He's building up that rage bar. Conqueror now procced. And Mickey on the retreat.
Yeah, and I think this really shows how warmed up Hazem is from the last 2 games. Because throughout all these trades, as we see Hazem gonna go for the base stop of Mickey, who actually has level 3 first, despite the trading going away from them. But no, we saw Hazem constantly stepping up to deny the vital spot from Mickey in that entire trade, and did a really nice job forcing Mickey to take, you know, more steps than they would have liked to, and so therefore not able to get off as many autos. And then even when, you know, out of vision, Hazem still trying to deny that mark. Was definitely the defining you know, factor in that trade there. But we see on the bot side, Riddy has opted to go for a 4-cam clear. Will be potentially looking for a play onto the mid lane, but sees that the wave is not in the right spot to go for it, and will instead go back towards their bot camps. And this is the mind games that you can play when you don't have vision. Primal Instinct worried that, you know, Brady might be just sitting in that bush there on the bot side, and they don't have a ward, so they cannot confirm that the Dorado game jungler is not there.
Yeah, and with no vision for the Primal Instinct side, they're gonna have to definitely play a bit safe, as we do see him, Birdo that is, on the top side getting that scuttle there. Shima now roaming down a bit, looking probably to get some vision, or he's just actually gonna back here. Oh, look at them all backing actually. Oh, now, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, that's really cool. All four of them decided to back at the same time. Like, and then who knows, maybe they would have looked for something, but they probably would have just went back to lanes, but never mind, Shima baited me.
I mean, the base timing makes sense there.
Yeah.
So what about a cannon wave? And Mickey taking a whole lot of damage from these minions there. It's gonna be able to land that vital spot. Not much more.
Hazem does know Birdo is here, as he was spotted on that ward, and he could tell by the way Mickey was playing, because he was a bit more aggressive. If Shima dashes forward, roots up Flow the zone, who does get Shima back with his own charm, will flash forward, but the Q misses. Shima does not though, and that is first blood for the Dorado Gaming Zeta mid lane.
And I think that's actually a bit of desperation actually coming out from Flow the Zone, which is a bit weird to say pre 5 minutes into a game, but in a series where you're down 2-0, I think just, you know, trying to go that extra mile to make the play happen, to get some advantage for your team going, you know, just, you know, made Flow the Zone feel like they wanted to make a play there. Unfortunate that it doesn't go their way and that they, you know, were unable to land that Q, but I think, again, props to Shima, you know, having the iron will to not reactively flash to a Q that was going to miss them anyway. As I'm pretty sure Shima himself was lining up a flash Q if Flow the Zone was going to stay. Just didn't have to do it in the end. But I mean, that's a kill. That's a solo bolo towards Shima, who, I mean, we talked about last game, was pretty quiet and wasn't really able to do too much on the Azir early, but, you know, was still that consistent force in the game. And now has that kill advantage that I don't think they've had for the entirety of this series. And with, I think that with the strength, you know, of Xin Zhao and Lissandra, this Ahri could be looking really vulnerable rather come to level 6 of this Lissandra. As level 6 now for Hazem.
Level 6 for Hazem. Mickey is not. Shima finding Flow the Zone there in that Ring of Frost. The flash coming from the Ahri there, but it's already too late, as Joker will take out the mid laner for Primal Instinct White once again. And excuse me, that was a flash blown by both Zeta bot laners, as Hazem finds Mickey underneath the tower. That's 2 kills now on the Zeta side here, and that's a 1k gold lead already as well.
Yeah, instantly punished for not having that flash available to them. Flow the Zone just stepping far too close to Shima, who didn't even have to flash themselves, as fighting the bot side.
Joker stepping forward really aggressively, but knows that Coffee has his back here. Look at what an AD carry can do when they know they have a support they can communicate with clearly.
I mean, yeah, Joker and Coffee, longtime teammates on this original Zeta roster. I'm gonna be looking in the back now, as Coffee Chocolate actually canceled their first auto, so unable to knock down that ward.
Coffee was a jungler though at that on that original roster.
Well, yes, Kibble's being the support for that team. But no, I mean, they still communicated. They still, you know, this is a little bit of insight into those who, you know, aren't quite, you know, as knowledgeable with Zeta as the rest of us potentially. But
gotta interrupt you real quick, Septi. Zeta, if they win this match, will have their next matchup being Distortion Overdrive, who 3-0'd Lit Esports Red.
Wow, I think Lit Esports as well were looking pretty good for themselves. Coming through the qualifiers, I think they had some pretty good games for themselves, as Flow the Zone just not having any fun in this mid lane, as Korean Daddy trying to help them out a bit. Is, yeah, I mean, disconnected.
Look
Awesome.
at the CS difference too, by the way. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you know, come in off the bench. You're not really warmed up from playing a couple games. Like, this is, I mean, it takes time to come into a game, and I know a lot of people don't really think about it, but because it's not, you know, physical, but you know, you need to be warmed up for League of Legends too, whether it comes to your hands, whether it comes to the way you think about the game. For Hazem, it's a little bit similar because he's been playing against someone else for the last 2 games. So that's a different kind of warm up, but I mean, he's been playing super well as Shahaz is just stepping forward into the wave. take a little bit of damage there. Coffee Chocolata as well, gonna help get the wave shove. But I mean, this Renekton has been doing absolutely foul things to the Fiora in this top side. As just more trading going out. 30 CS is the advantage for this
PBS,
crocodile.
if you can channel the gold too as well for our viewers so we can take a look at that gold difference, Septi. My goodness, already a 1k gold lead. 1.1 actually for Hazem there in the top side of the map. But taking a look at the rest, look at everyone else's wallets.
Yeah, another 500 gold in favor of Shima, who's been farming well, has that solo kill as well as the assist on that kill. I believe onto the Ahri it was. And I mean, this gold lead is just doing a really nice job for the side of Dorado. I think Joker has maybe been farming a little bit worse than he would have liked to this game. But I mean, looking around, they were able to pick up the first dragon. They were able to collect the first herald as well. And without knowing where this Wukong is, Dorado Gaming are playing very respectfully, but they know that this wave is going away from them. And with Riddy coming down to the spot side, we're going to see a bit of a scuffle here.
Yeah, both junglers are here though. Korean Daddy flashes forward, cleanse on from Joker, who now walks into the bush here. He knows he cannot go back, so he must charge forward. Shahaz already taking out the Zeta 80 carry though. Flow the zone is here, charm goes wide, but it doesn't matter as Coffee is cleaned up as well. That's a 2-0 on the bot side for Primal Instinct White.
Yeah, Dorado Gaming just getting a little bit too antsy there on the bot side. Good play coming out from Korean Daddy, who was able to land the flash. Venus Blade is
Primal
Riddy
White looking for more.
Yeah, flash available on Flow the Zone meant that they might have gone for that flash charm there, but yeah, no, Dorado Gaming just being too antsy. They wanted to try and deal with the wave, but did not wait nearly long enough for Riddy to join them in that bot side. And as a result, Joker, who flashed in that play earlier to kill the Ahri, was caught out by Korean Daddy. He did a nice job there. Was able to find a good engage before the supports hit level 6. But that kill does go over, I believe, to the Ahri. Who has not been having the best game for themselves and certainly will not be having that ulti for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So now the onus is on Dorado to punish them.
Yeah, it's only landed the charm, I think, once out of the couple of times she's fired it. So need to do a bit better at landing those charms because, I mean, it's pretty much an important part of her kit, right? So, especially when the target's pretty close to you. So just something for Flow the Zone to be aware of. It might be nerves, who knows? But I'm sure that they're also aware of that they need to hit those charms a bit more so that way they can execute even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's the chops of a good Ahri to be able to hit those charms. I'm gonna hit him with it. I was playing with JC earlier, and
you think Ahri goes oh, hold on, the grand challenge has been an issue, but Hazem using that dominance there, the parry does not connect. Hazem will just slice and dice his way away. Birdo looking for more, but his ultimate is on cooldown there. Flow the zone and charm goes wide once again. Hazem did have to use his flash though, as I was gonna ask if Birdo was gonna use his Cyclone, but it was on cooldown as now Zeta is working on this Chemtech trick.
Yeah, that's one of the plays where, I mean, they just tried to catch Hazem being too aggressive in that bot side, or sorry, top side rather. And I mean, not able to do enough damage, not able to lock them down with any CC, and Hazem being very controlled there with the usage of the stun. As Riddy gonna get hit with a solar flare there. Shima is around, and I think they knew that the mid laner for Dorado Gaming was there.
Charm goes wide once again, but Shima and Riddy electing to take this fight. Actually, there's a lot of pinks coming out. I guess Joker and Coffee, I can't say it, are on their way to back them up. As Hazem was fighting on the top side of the map as well. Mickey's still not afraid to take it to this crocodile.
You know what we saw there? Acted whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Because we had, I want to say 4 summoners blown. Okay, maybe 3 summoners blown. No, 4. Because Shima just put TP. So 3 summoners blown for absolutely nothing happening on that bot side there. Hazem on the top side chasing the Wukong out of his jungler's top side. As we see Hazem now as the squad.
Oh, there's a good parry. Finally, for once, Mickey lands the parry, Flow the Zone, and the rest of Primal Instinct White are here. The charm finally connects. That's 2 out of 5, at least for the ones I've seen on camera. So, good kill for the side of Primal Instinct. And the first mythic is actually online with Shima giving that Everfrost. I was gonna ask you 2 things. Septi, does Ahri go Everfrost here? Because she has the Lucidity boots.
Well, she's going Everfrost.
And
I
oh
hate to
yeah,
burst your bubble there.
I just saw the Kindle Gem. Sorry, I just saw the Kindle Gem.
No, you're
And
good.
our Sivir salesman producer is very saddened by the fact that Sivir went static shiv instead of Kraken Navori LDR.
I think in this game, I think if you were meant to be a solo carry Sivir, I think that build works pretty fine for you. But Shahaz is just trying to stonewall the game and trying to be the wave clear that their team needs. This is definitely the more scaling of the Sivir builds. I think it's the one where she is useful in every stage of the game. The other one does a whole lot of damage, I will not deny that. But looking at her teammates, she doesn't need to output 1,000 DPS. She is going to be able to do her job, bounce the blades, still do a fair amount of damage. As I think she still will be going for probably, I mean, Navora quick blades will be the next item, and then whether it's LDR or Kraken Slayer is yet to be seen. But no, this Sivir will still do the job. She'll still be strong. But I think, Dorado Gaming have not really been able to do too much with their 1,500 gold lead that they have for themselves. I think purely because Primal Instinct is, playing their champions out pretty well. Mickey, we've seen, warm into this game.
I'm also gonna say I'm honestly not worried about them not really taking advantage of their goalie right now, because we've seen Zeta at this point 2 games now turn it on come mid and late game, right? We'll see how they operate more around this next Drake, but if this next Drake is a team fight and Zeta ends up winning it pretty convincingly, then yeah, I think it's pretty much just gonna be smooth sailing for them. But we'll see how things go as of right now. On the other hand, if Primal Instinct White are able to punish Zeta, because Fiora, despite the CS deficit, is still a Fiora at this point right now. She does have her Mythic online, whereas Renekton does not. So anything is possible, and we still haven't seen Wukong get his Cyclone off yet, and Ari does have her Mythic, as Birdo also does have the Rift Herald. I guess we missed that off camera at one point where he got that. So we'll look to see where that it will be launched.
Yeah, Dorado Gaming definitely have the ability to be proactive in this game. I don't think we've seen it yet.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a little bit of the thing that I was worried about with the Xin Zhao pick, where, while it does have the ability to, be aggressive in this game, it is a fairly one-dimensional play style for the champion.
Oh wow, 0-0-0. I just realized that already.
Yeah, so really not able to make their mark on this game yet. Has been able to pick up 2 dragons in their favor, but really has not been able to do too much more. Only 1 camp lead on this Wukong, and might potentially be starting a fight here. But the team is around.
All right, Charm connects once again onto Coffee here. Shima using that Frozen Tomb on Korean Daddy as the chains of corruption come through and chain up the Primal Instinct members as well. Birdo using that Cyclone there, but the Taric ultimate nullifies so much damage. Shahaz now on the retreat. Double kill for Joker. Awesome flashes, floor slices and dices through Mickey 313. Flow the Zone and Birdo, the only members left here of Primal Instinct, and that is going to be an Inferno Drake here for Dorado Gaming Zeta.
Yeah, 5v5 for the blue buff, but Dorado Gaming just doing a really nice job there. Had the abilities, used them well. Shima, started that fight off very, very well. Being able to use the frozen tomb onto Korean Daddy, slowing down the engage from Primal Instinct White, so they weren't able to actually engage the fight on their terms, which has been a theme that we've seen over the series, where Primal Instinct just have not been able to fight on their own terms. And you would have hoped, with champions like Wukong and Leona and Ari, they would have been able to do it. But Dorado Gaming found the play before them, and as a result, caught them on the back foot. I don't think credit has to go to Riddy and Shima in that fight, as they were able to, split up the fight. They were able to play super well. Riddy was able to, be that stopgap, just in that area where we normally see the blue buff wall, and stop Shahaz, and Flow the Zone from really doing damage in that game. The charm from Flow the Zone landed onto the full HP Renekton that had just TP'd in and popped Dominus, so not really able to find much influence there. And Joker outputting so much damage in the fight, as Mickey gonna be looking for this fight, and wow, that is a lot of damage coming out from the Fiora.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. When Fiora, hold that thought, is okay. Direct Charm does land for Flow the Zone. It's an Everfrost v Everfrost battle here.
Yeah, both of them
And that's
have
it.
ultimate though. No one wanted to commit to the 1v1.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna be honest, I think the Lissandra might have come out on top in that
Oh, yeah,
fight
for
had it
sure.
actually, concluded. As really gonna be walking into a Wukong here.
Uses the ultimate a bit preemptively, I think. To be quite
I think
honest
that's a
with you.
respectful ult.
But yeah, because the Leona was there, so maybe he was afraid of the solo play or something.
Yeah, it's only a 90-second cooldown. Will be up for the next dragon for sure.
Okay,
Shima, we talked about who would win.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, Glacial Tomb is just gonna do far too much damage. Or sorry, Frozen Tomb.
Yep.
What am I'm combining? What is it? What is Sejuani's ult? Glacial Prison.
I believe so.
As we must have had a pause at some point.
Yeah, I didn't pause it, so we're stuck right now. Fun. So while we're stuck here,
Oh, here we go.
let's talk about hold that thought.
You know what I want to talk about, Redacted?
Yeah,
I want to talk about Mickey. Because we talked about it. We talked about warming up, and we talked about how stepping in for Goomba would have been, a little bit of a tough one on, some potential short notice, I guess, for them. But I think, in the last 5 minutes or so, once they were able to complete their first item, they have really been able to, hold their own against this Renekton. We saw the great usage of that parry earlier on in the 1v1 that, consigned has him to his death. It has, been able to crawl back what was a 30 CS deficit, I believe, in that top side, only now being down 10. So I think credit has to go to Mickey for stepping back into this game.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to say. At this point right now, what does Primal Instinct want to try and do here to get back into this game, right? You're 3 Drakes down. Every lane except for the jungler has an advantage over your counterpart. And okay. So like what does Primal Instinct want to look to do here at this point?
I mean, I don't know when you think you have a choice. You're in a similar situation to game number 1 where you're down 3 dragons to 0. And you have an Infernal Soul spawning in 3 minutes time. So the game plan is to farm as much as you can in the next, I'd argue, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And then try and plant yourself in the river to the point where you have vision control, you can have Birdo on a flank, and then you have to play for you have to fight for your series. You have to actually make the commitment. You have to find the angle that is beneficial. I think you'd have to. I honestly think you might have to try and kill Shima, which sounds a little bit crazy, but Shima has been able to use the Frozen Tomb so offensively that has really been stopping your engage. I mean, we saw in that blue buff fight, we saw Shima use it on to Korean Daddy, which slowed down the Leona engage, which basically meant that the gap between enemy front line and your back line was already down to 0. And when you have a Sivir and when you have an Ahri that want to keep you at arm's reach for as long as possible in a fight, if you're getting engaged on first, that zone. I mean, you think about it like football, right? I don't know how many people are football fans, but you have your offensive line.
Wait, okay, I was about to say, are we talking American football or are we talking world football?
We're in America, Redacted. All right. The term football.
Look, man, we have a lot of Canadians here, okay? So I don't know if you're Canadian or American.
Refers to 22 dudes on a line just crashing into each other constantly. But no, I mean, you have to just make sure that you keep, your front line in the front. You got to keep your back line safe. And so the best way to do that, I'd argue, is to either force an early ultimate, out of Cafe Chocolata or out of Shima. And the best way to do that is just to get vision control and get the first engage.
For sure. And I wonder how our Sivir salesman will feel currently about the Sivir's build, as she does have that Grievous Wounds Executioner's Calling there in the kit. And I'm curious as to probably looking to build the Quick Blades now. With those long swords in her inventory here, but I
mean they're very poor. That's Sivir.
Yes, the Sivir is very poor. Well, on the other hand, look at Joker with 2 completed items and no completed boots just yet, actually, either, which is quite hilarious, actually. Not really typical you see, but I guess when you're Mr. Moneybags, you can go ahead and be greedy with your build.
So apparently we have been told that the game is over.
Yeah, so I saw that came up over, but like we're stuck. So another micro patch? There's another micro patch.
There's another micro patch.
No way.
Do we
So
think?
we can't get the last like because I saw the game ends in like
Do we
another
think
8
we can
minutes.
ask one of the players to download the VOD and then show the rest of it?
You know what? Let's cut to a short break while we figure this out.
We will be right back and let us figure this out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And due to a small indie company, we are actually going to conclude the stream here. There's no more game to show you. I'm so sorry. You missed out the last 7 minutes and 22 seconds of it due to another micro patch by a small indie company called Riot Games. But we have for you the top laner and support of Dorado Gaming, Zeta, here to narrate those last 7 minutes and 22 seconds of what happened. Coffee, take it away.
Okay, so essentially what happened was enemy team, they were feeling the pressure, you know. Their mid laner got solo killed 867 times by Shima. Their bot lane looked completely lost the entire series, so they're trying to fight us, trying to get their way back into the game. Birdo sends it like a goddamn missile into my backline. Pop Terracult, we 5-for-0 ace them. We get Baron, they try it again, we 5-for-0 ace them. We push bot, we push bot, then we reset, push mid, and they try and fight us in their base. Guess what? 5-for-0 ace them.
So 3 aces in 7 minutes. That's
Yes.
what I'm hearing.
Wow,
Yes.
that is.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you're gonna close out a 3-0, you may as well do it with 3 consecutive aces. And I gotta say, that was a pretty concise 3-0. Definitely not the content series that I think some people were hoping for. As I appreciate the 3-0, it means that we're
Yes.
we're done in a reasonable time. Banger series nonetheless. But no, I do want to talk a little bit about going into the series, because I know that you guys were, at least from what I had heard, you guys were maybe feeling a little bit
Shaky.
anxious
Just
going
say it.
into the
They were
series.
shaky.
You went 1-1 in qualifiers after a fairly strong end to the regular season. But I think coming into playoffs, you guys have definitely shaped up. But can you guys sort of take me through, what it was like coming into this game, and if you were concerned at all about Primal Instinct?
I'll let you take that one, Haas, you've been here longer.
Okay.
I can go after.
I mean, I don't know. My ego always tells me that if I play well, I can always like carry the game. So but I do want to say that the top laner that I faced first, the Goomba guy, whatever his name is, he was definitely like giving me my money's worth for like laning. But I don't know. It felt like their entire team post lane just didn't know what they were doing. They were kind of like running around. I honestly expected a lot more from their team, hearing what I heard, but like they're Seraphine Karma abusers, so it's kind of that shit's gone and they're kind of crumbling. I don't know. It'd probably be easier for Coffee to explain it. Like for me, I don't even play the game until like 25 minutes because top lane.
So like essentially, like as far as the narrative goes, where like the Zeta roster was looking strong and then Toy left. And then going into qualifiers, I kind of stepped in sort of as a favor to Riddy. Essentially, I was playing support on a team with Riddy elsewhere, outside of Dorado. But the first week when we played against Iceborne, I feel like we didn't really have our sea legs under us. Like I was not very used to playing with the players that I'm playing with. But yeah, so I wasn't really used to playing with the people I was playing with. Like I've played with each player individually. I played with Joker prior on Kai. I've played with Hazem a little bit, in in-houses and whatnot, and like I know the players really well. But finding my role on the team was tough until pretty recently, and I feel like with every series we get better. Buying into Alive, our coach, buying into his system, and like me sort of keeping people in line when we're in game and kind of helping Riddy take the weight off his shoulders.
Coffee, are you in a game right now?
No, I'm not.
I hear a mouse clicking.
Yeah, that's not me.
Okay. I was like, no way, this guy is in solo queue as he's doing his interview with us right now.
No, but I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm sure Alive appreciates you guys, accepting the style, accepting the teachings, the guidance, as it were, of your coach. And I mean, I think you guys, really showed a solid game. Joker not in the call with us, so I can compliment him without, the backlash of a never-ending self-hype train. Had a very nice series for himself, a very solid performance on the Varus, and I think you guys did a really nice job playing together. I think, I sort of wanted to talk about it. You sort of, led into it a little bit, but sort of who are your leading voices in game? Because I know, Coffee, you said that in the past you'd played with some of these players, and I know from experience that you were sort of the guiding voice, but this is a different team, and you're in a different position. So who sort of takes lead there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the majority of the comms come through Riddy and myself. Just it's a good dynamic essentially. Like Riddy makes plays, and then as far as like final say goes for any play that we make, it's usually me. Obviously in scrims it's a little different. I think our scrims have, since I've joined Zeta, been a complete disaster from day one. But thankfully everyone shows up to play. Like Hazem and Joker today, I think were both my MVPs as far as the series goes. I think Hazem absolutely 1v9'd game 2, despite what like maybe his score looks like. And like Joker's obviously looked a lot better, but I think Hazem was just driving force behind our wins today.
Are you in an ARAM?
No, I'm not playing at all. My hands are off the keyboard, but I have my brother-in-law's over there.
Okay, I'm like, yo, I hear a mouse.
Fuck this lane.
Don't worry, brothers.
A question I wanted to ask you, Coffee.
Yeah. So I
Yes,
mean,
yes, redacted. Are you, hello?
um,
You
no,
were saying?
oh wait, I got it. I got it back. Okay, so I don't know if you know yet, but Distortion Overdrive just beat Lit Esports Red 3-0. So you're facing them next. How do you feel about that matchup against Zeta and them?
you got this, awesome.
Ooh,
Remember what we discussed prior to this?
Okay. Okay. I'll be
PG. Keep it PG.
Yeah.
PBS is ready. PBS is ready, man.
I don't
He's
know.
got his
Has
hand on-
the mute button ready, Hazem.
Yeah, dude, I'm not saying anything like that. I was just told not to shit talk too much just because certain people get like hurt. So I just won't say anything crazy. I just think they're not as good as they look. I will say that. They look untouchable. Like we'll show you they can fucking bleed. I'll tell you that.
I'll say one
Down for
thing
that.
about Distortion. Like I know they're a solid team. I've never got to play against them. I've never even seen them play. But I'm looking forward to playing against them just because I would say a lot of the supports, maybe except for the one I played against on Iceborne, but it's hard to say because I think as a team we were a lot worse when we played Iceborne. A lot of supports have been kind of bots. Today was no exception. It's just like I'm playing off role essentially, and it doesn't look like it, so that's a bit scary, I think. So looking forward to playing against like an actual bot lane.
Okay, I'm excited for that too. Hopefully, we get like multiple streams for AML next week. I don't know. That's a decision Flay has to make though.
I mean, we're going into, you guys are going to be going into the number one team in the Ixtal standings, who I don't think have they dropped a single game? No, they have not. They have not dropped a single game throughout group stage or qualifier. So it is definitely going to be a spicy matchup, and I think definitely one that you guys can use maybe as a measuring stick to see where you stack up, in the rest of the bracket. But I think we have taken enough of your time, and I would like to say thank you for an entertaining series, even though it got cut short. And I would like now to offer you the floor to give any shout outs you would like to give. Hazem, I think we could start.
Or call outs.
Yeah.
Saying the CCS redacted. Chill.
Shout out
You can still
to-
call out respectfully. Sorry.
Oh,
Hazem.
okay.
Shout out to Zeta. We know they're in a series right now, pretty close. They've just barely through game one. I think they can still win this as the heavy underdog. Like I have a lot of faith in them. Like I know that team. I know the players on that team. I know they can really shine when they need to. Shout out to my team, like really pulling through. Like obviously it doesn't show on stage, or not stage, I don't want to say, like on game day I've been playing okay, but in scrims I've been like really shitting the bed, and my teammates have been like really fucking patient with me and having like a lot of faith in me, and like hyping me up when I make good plays. When I make bad plays, they like, it's not like they're flaming me, they're like giving me constructive criticism, like doing all doing all the good shit that a good team should do. Like I don't know, bro. They just
They're
been
being
doing a lot.
supportive, man. That's
Yeah,
good.
they like, fuck, man. It's really nice.
Very wholesome, Hazem. Coffee. The floor is yours.
Yes. Obviously, I've got to start all of my shoutouts here with shout out to Akuma Esports, my alma mater, the org that I run. Even though I'm playing for Dorado right now, I left Dorado like not too long ago, and I came back to sub in for this team. So obviously, shout out to Zol and Hoshi for having me again. And then my teammates as well. I think big shout out today for Hazem. I was really proud of the way that he played today. Like he said in scrims, he's a bit of a griefer, but on game day, I know and I trust that he'll always show up and he'll always play his best. So
And show up
definitely
he
big
did.
shout out to Hazem.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you with the interview, as well as the quick synopsis of the final 7 minutes of your 3-0 victory over Primal Instinct White. And Redacted, I appreciate you for stepping in for Moose this week. So thank you very much. And thank you to all of you who came to support the Aegis series and to watch our awesome 3-0 of Dorado Gaming Zeta versus Primal Instinct White. We appreciate you, and we hope you guys all have a great week. Thank you, PVS, for running an awesome stream.
Boy,
Thank you to both Trolley and to Coachify.gg for being awesome sponsors of the AML as well as other Aegis content. We would like to thank you all, and we'd like to invite you all next week as we have more AML content coming for you. We got more playoff action as well as I believe a couple other leagues going on. I think we have the APL on Thursdays. We have the AGL as well as the ACL, back on Fridays. Redacted, do we have another podcast next Monday?
We do have another podcast next Monday. It's gonna be a podcast bonanza, as it is APL and AGL finals the following week. So stay tuned for that. More information on the way. Maybe an ACL podcast too. Who knows?
Potentially.
We'll see. Potentially, we'll see.
We got some banger teams in the ACL. So
yeah.
if you want to watch some quality League of Legends,
yeah,
come around on Friday.
Yes. But yeah, I just want to say thank you once again for Ivar, Benjamin, for letting me sub in and be the emergency caster to cast AML. This was a lot of fun. Thanks, Moose, and once again, get better, Moose. And yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll pop up again more often on the cast. Anything's possible. But take it away, Septi. Close us out.
Nah, with that said, I'd just like to thank you for all coming to watch us, and thank you for supporting the Aegis esports program that we have here. And we'd like to wish you all a wonderful week and a wonderful evening. And with that, we'll see you next week on the AML.